You know what, friends? Some days I just want to punch him right in the face. And you know I have the muscles to do it. Muscles! Even though I haven't worked out since Sunday when I almost popped calf muscle in step aerobics class. Hello, friends. My name is Laraine Durham. I don't know who this guy is. Just some guy I met 22 years ago, and we decided to get married.
Some days.
Who's now probably regretting his life choices.
No,
Just kidding.
Not at all.
We were talking about putting comments up on the screen, and
it's kind of like driving.
So he said, "You do it." I said, "I don't know how to do it, and I can't see it without my glasses." And he said, "Well, I guess you're going to learn." So this is the Downsized Live. My name's Laraine Durham. I'm here with Christopher Durham, and we're the channel that talks about all things GLP-1 weight loss related and how to kick your husband's ass.
Violence.
I woke up and chose violence this morning. No, just kidding. But welcome to our Downsized Live. I've lost 54 pounds on compounded Tirzepatide, and CD over here, also known as Mr. Durham, has lost 104 pounds.
That's correct.
As of today on compounded Tirzepatide, Mounjaro, Zepbound, and then back to compounded Tirzepatide. What else?
Hard to say.
I don't know. I'm riled up, y'all. It's been a long day.
She has been in a mood all day. All day.
I've had to work all day. And my legs hurt because I injured myself on Sunday. And I asked my daughter to take something to the post office, but she was too busy. And so that made me mad. And so I'm just really...
And then she was mad at me because I took it to the post office.
Then he took it. I'm like, she's literally doing nothing. She's zero. Okay. Anyway, teenagers that come home from college need to go immediately to work.
Perhaps a nice sweatshop. Perhaps they could make some jeans.
Back in the good old days when children had to work a lot. We're getting ready for our conference next week. So we're busy like bees over here at the Downsized headquarters. The Downsized World Headquarters in North Carolina, or North Carolina World Headquarters. Anyway, you can say something now.
Can I?
I don't know. Can you?
Sometimes. All right. Hello, everybody out there, and welcome to Downsized Live. My name is Christopher Durham, and let's remind us who you are again.
They know who I am.
Maybe they didn't catch all that chaos.
No, I'm Laraine Durham.
We're the Downsized. So this, if you're new here, because there's 238 people out there, 240 now, is our live stream where we take questions, celebrate wins, whether it be you just started a medication, you've lost weight, your A1C got better, you get into a different size. It's Wednesday, whatever it is. And if you do, you might get some confetti. I would let her run this, but she doesn't know how to do that.
Well, I would have to wear my glasses to be able to see up close. My problem is at age, how old am I? 56. At age 56 is I wear contacts to see, and they're supposed to help me see. I used to not be able to see far away. So I got contacts. But then I couldn't see up close because, age. So I got multifocal contacts. Only now I can't really see very well far away, and I need readers to see up close. And if things are like the computer screen away, like at your desk, I need like readers to see that too. Y'all, like, send help. What? I don't like it.
Girl, you just gotta wear your glasses.
Just wear your glasses.
Yep.
Just wear your glasses all the time. I'm not going to wear my glasses all the time.
Well, you look cute
because they're ugly and I don't like them. No offense to anybody who wears glasses out there. If you want to wear glasses and that works for you, that is fantastic. But I don't like them. I've worn contact lenses since I was 15, and they should just work. Why can't things just work? And this is how I've become a little old lady. Get off my lawn. I also don't like cars driving down my street that I don't know, because we live on not a cul-de-sac, but like a semicircle. And our house is in the middle of the semicircle. Like there's two, it's like a horseshoe. We live at the bottom of the horseshoe. Why are you driving on my street if you don't live on my street? Why? Don't be zipping around the horseshoe. Don't be zipping around in your fast car. No. Move along. All right.
So we'll talk about the court stuff in a little while. Let's get people going here.
All right.
So if you got a question, please put a couple cues before it so I can see it. We try and take as many and say hello and everything to as many people as we can. But as always, it gets, there's a lot of you out there. So we'll do the best we can. If I don't get to you, I'm not intentionally ignoring you. I assure you, maybe throw it in the chat later and maybe we'll see it.
You just hid the comments from me over here.
Because those comments are about 2 minutes ahead.
I'm in the future?
Yes.
Who's in the future? Am I in the future or what viewers
That's
in
the
the
way
future?
streaming works, but it's just.
Who's in the future?
So Reed, did you say hello to Thin from Within 66?
Hi, Thin from Within 66. Thanks for being a member of Club Downsized. Hello, good evening. Been waiting all day. LOL. It's the Laraine and Christopher show here on YouTube. Marlene Laraine says, hello, fellow downsizers. How's everyone's week going? What day of the week is it? It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. If we're live, it must be Wednesday.
Or
Tuesday,
Tuesday, or any old day.
Or Friday. It's hard to say.
Thank you for being a member, Marlene. Hello, Melissa Voigt. So yeah, we'll talk about the OFA in the court case in a little while. Mel B, hello, CD
Hey, Mel
Laraine
B.
and friends. Queen Bren, good evening, good
Queen
evening, good
Bren.
evening.
Hello, good evening. Kirsten's memories, woohoo! I remembered CD, LD, and JoJo time. Kirsten's been heading up a letter writing campaign.
That's awesome.
So Kirsten posted on our Facebook page today that she wrote a letter to
pretty much anyone who's
Eli
elected
Lilly,
and Eli Lilly.
Mr. David Ricks, CEO of Eli Lilly. And wouldn't you know, someone called her and asked her about her letter. And so she was very nice and told them to
Did they
please,
actually call her?
They got in contact with her. Maybe they emailed.
Maybe I misunderstood.
And she said, I want you to release the higher doses of the files, and I want you to make your price lower than $500 because that's too expensive for Americans. So you go, Kirsten's memories. She says she also writes letters to various other
elected officials, pretty much everybody, it sounds like. So, yay, more power to you,
so
Kirsten.
Look out. All right. She'll give us tips on our letter writing campaign to Eli Lilly later. Barb, health at any cost, says, evening all. Kirsten, I just sent an email to you. Hey, Barb, thanks for joining us. Kate E says, hiya from Seattle. Hi, Kate E.
Thanks for being a member, Kate.
GLP-1 Journey and Review. Hi, everyone. Happy Hump Day. Hey, Lori. Kay says, hi, everyone. Hi, Kay. Simply Taisha says, happy Hump Day, Christopher, Laraine, and Downsized fam. Woo, woo, woo. Simply Taisha. Vanessa says, hello, Downsized party people. Party people in the house. Lenny. Hello, Lenny. Nice to see you.
I think she was Lindy Lou.
Lindy Lou? Lindy.
Mm-hmm.
Lenny Lou.
Lindy Lou, yeah.
Not Lindy. Lenny. Mitsu Grace. Hi, all from Northern California. Diana. Hello. Kirsten says, hi, Barb. Got the email. It's been a long day, so I will answer tomorrow. Already in bed, ready to listen here, and then to Allie. And 2 of my 4 kitties have joined me already. All right, girl, it's 7:09. Although I would have been in bed if I could have been by now myself. Shonda C says, hello, everyone. Hello, Shonda C. Crazy Cat Lady in LA says, hola, Downsized crew. Hola, Vanessa. Video Data says, hello, Chris and Laraine. Hello. Thanks for watching. Janine Jones says, hello. Just spent a bunch of money ordering Tirzepatide while I can. Me too, girl. I got a refill that's going to hit my door tomorrow. Mindy M says, hey, hey, hey. Hey, Mindy. Nice to see you. Thanks for watching. Freddie Mann says, hello, everyone. Hello, Freddie Mann.
Let's see.
Diane Odgers. Hello, folks from California. Jess says, good evening, all, and happy Nurses Week to any fellow members or viewers who are
nurses. I didn't know it was Nurses Week, but happy Nurses Week.
And while we're on the subject of doctors and nurses, we are not doctors. This is not medical care. I don't think we've said that yet today. So please always consult your doctor, nurse, your weight loss professional, healthcare person before starting any medication or weight loss journey. All
right, there's 335 of you out there. Welcome to the Downsized. If you got a question, put it a Q in the front of it, so make sure I see it. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Actually, there's already 99 likes, so almost to 100. We're always happy to see that.
What's going on with the other 247 of you? Laraine is jacked. I know, y'all. I'm just sorry. I'll try to calm down. Probably not going to happen, but I'll try.
Anthony says it was just watching the recent Downsized dish.
Yeah, with my buddy Alonda.
Yep.
Yeah, she's a cutie.
And the next Downsized dish will be this guy,
Dennis
Sheridan.
When does Dennis's Downsized dish go live?
Next week.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
So yeah, we talked to some men. We have 20% of our viewers are men, according to
but it's growing.
YouTube
it's growing
analytics. So if you're a man, welcome. 50% of our corporation is man-owned. True story.
I thought I had like 4%, and you and JoJo had the rest.
No, when we incorporated, it's 50-50. So we do the Downsized dish, and we have a lot of lady Downsized dish episodes, and we have a few men Downsized dish episodes.
And a couple one there here and there.
A couple ones. We've been interviewing some doctors lately. So yeah, if you'd like to be on the Downsized dish, how do they do that, Christopher?
Well, let's put this up there.
Send me an email to Laraine@thedownsized.org. You have to spell my name right, and then you just say, Laraine, I want to be on the Downsized dish. And I'll be like, cool, here's the link. Click it and sign up. And that's all you got to do. So everybody's journey is different, and we can learn something from each other. So tell your story and earn points. No, you won't earn any
There
points.
are no points.
Earn points on your journey toward a healthier you.
Chris Liss has a question. QQQ, are the pills as effective? You take one per day offered by Hims and Hers. No, they are not.
Thumbs down.
Well, so there's a couple of different pills out there floating around. There is the branded Rybelsus, which is a semaglutide, which does not perform as well as the injectable semaglutide.
Right.
And it's a pretty complicated, you have to make sure you follow the instructions exactly on when you eat. And there's people on the chat that can tell you all about that, but you have to follow it exactly. So there are a couple of telehealth companies that are selling versions of that. They do not perform as well as the injectables. There are some other ones out there that are saying they have pills for Tirzepatide. They're saying that they have dissolvables. They're saying they have drops. They're saying all sorts of other things. And honestly, they're not much cheaper than the injectables. The injectables work. I wouldn't go for a pill unless there's no way you can do the injectable.
Until orforglipron comes out sometime in 2026.
Yep. And they're working on it.
That will be a GLP-1 in a pill form that's supposed to be the next greatest thing since sliced bread. But until then, survey says about the pills.
Yeah, I wouldn't spend the money on them.
Why Davis, hello, just recently subscribed. New to the GLP-1 world, looking to lose 125 pounds. Well, welcome, Y Davis. You've come to the right place. Christopher's lost over 100 pounds. A lot of our viewers have lost a good bit of weight on GLP-1s, and they work. So talk to your doctor, get a prescription, and if it's right for you, you'll be on your way in no time. Brochet says, hey, guys, made it. Hey, Brochet. Hey. Kelly Faye K. Elsie, when I wear my distance contacts, I wear peepers. I have some peepers. Progressive readers to avoid taking the glasses on off. Oh, mine are sunglasses though. And now they make progressive sunglasses, which is lovely to use by the pool when reading. Yeah, so from peepers, I bought the sunglasses, but they're just clear. I mean, they're just no power at the top and readers at the bottom. I gotta get better solutions on how to see. It's just annoying. All right, but yeah, I like the peepers. If you're peepers, call me. We'll do a promo. Christina Boswell says, I love the GLP-1. I am down 100 pounds in 11 months.
There you go.
Excellente. You are a super responder. Good job.
Yeah, that's
that's a good bit. Mm-hmm.
Hello from New Hers.
Rachel Cohen. What's New Hers?
Not sure.
New York?
Hampshire?
New Hampshire?
New York? I'm not sure. Hello.
New Amsterdam?
Hello, Rachel.
Nice to see you here, Rachel. Archie's auntie. Hey guys, I just got here. What did I miss? Nothing. I was just ranting about getting old and not being able to see, and my husband's making me crazy. And
she was crazy when I met her.
No, it's perfectly
Oh,
sane.
looks like we've got some fun stuff going on here. Look at this.
What is this?
Reese is a new member.
Thanks, Reese fam.
Give you a dancing girl. Got a few more. Melissa Crump.
Melissa Crump became a YouTube member. Oh, thanks, Melissa Crump. I see you all the time in the Facebook. If you want to join our Facebook group, it's the Downsized GLP-1 Journey, right? Yep. Adventure, GLP-1 Adventure.
I'm not sure why you always have a block on that.
I don't know why either. I changed the name recently, and I have to remember.
And GLP-1 Journey and Review gifted 5 Downsized memberships. So they kind of go out randomly. So 5 of you will get a membership. So
How
you
do they know?
It'll send them a note that says you have been gifted a membership.
How do I know? Okay.
So you can use the emojis. You can come on the live
get a membership,
stream.
and you get a membership, and you get but only 5.
You know, hold on. Let me give her. What do I want to give her? The Carlton. Fine.
All right. We gotta get some new dancing
and Kate E gifted 10 Downsized memberships.
10 of you get a membership.
Yeah, I'll have to get some new dancing people.
So what do they get if they're members, Christopher?
Well, you can do custom emojis. You get a little logo next to your name that says you're a Downsized member. You get access to the Facebook group. So
we have a Club Downsized.
Yeah, to Club Downsized Facebook group. You get access to member chat. And then we do a weekly live that's a smaller, more focused stream where you can ask questions.
Usually
just
on
for members.
Tuesday. Yeah.
Yep.
You don't be trying to get into the Club Downsized Facebook group if you're not a member, because you got to answer the questions. And if you don't know the answers to the questions, I will decline your membership. I will decline your entry to the Facebook group.
Oh, so. Archie's, we answered that one. Let's see. Kirsten says it was indeed a call from Lily.
Oh, phone call. Yeah.
Fun.
You got him into action, girl. I'm impressed. Yeah, that's some serious letter writing skills you got. DJ Mayer says, won't it expire before you can use these vials you are stocking up on? Thank you. No, and I'll tell you why. Do you want to tell them why?
Oh, go for it.
Okay, so different compounding pharmacies have different best use by dates. So I think we've gotten ones that are 3 months out, that are 6 weeks out, that are, I think we had some that were September, 6 months out. So as we get them from these different pharmacies, we line them up in the fridge. Christopher's on a 15 milligram dose. So theoretically, a 15 milligram vial time, he could pull out of it 4 times. I'm on a 5 milligram dose of compounded Tirzepatide.
And we only buy the highest dose. So.
We buy the highest dose vial, so 15 or 16.6 or whatever random amount they want to go up to these days. And we both pull out of the same vial until it's empty, and then we go to the next vial. So
we can use it pretty quickly.
So we can use it up pretty quickly. But yeah, you have to keep an eye on those bud dates, and the best practice is once you puncture the vial with the needle, you should use that within 28 days. What happens after 28 days, you say? Well, nothing really. It might lose some of its efficacy. Potency, if you will. But keep it in the fridge. We keep ours in a container in the fridge where light cannot get to it. It might help. I don't know. It makes me feel better. But keep them in the fridge, and definitely look at your best use by dates. If you are lucky enough to have insurance coverage for the old Zepbound pens, these have long best use by dates.
That one's been sitting there used for a long time.
What's that say? I can't see. I have my glasses on.
This one says October 12th, 2025, but this one's probably been sitting here since we started
2023.
doing this.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they can have,
used.
Most of these have best use by dates of a year plus out. Mm-hmm. So you want to, I get a Sharpie or a big magic marker, and in my container with the vials in the fridge, I write bud date of whatever, and then I line up the containers, and then I'm make sure we go down the town.
Same way they stock a grocery store. You just want to use the stuff that's going to go bad first.
So maybe the thing that came to me most recently has a further out bud date, so it gets pushed in the, you know what I mean? So this week I'm getting a delivery from Empower Pharmacy, and a couple weeks ago, my last delivery was from Red Rock Pharmacy, and that's as Mochi shifts people around the country to different pharmacies trying to who knows what, keep up with their orders and things. So Empower is the largest compounding pharmacy in the world, so I feel very good about them and their service. And so if you have Empower, congratulations. Or Red Rock, also good. South End, good. I don't really know many of the other ones, so you might have different ones based on your state. Nature Girl said, I saw your GLP-1 on Fox 4 at YMCA. It was around, you mean our commercial? Maybe she saw our commercial.
Hey.
Yeah, so Christopher and I did a commercial for Mochi Health back in February, and it's just now hitting the airwaves, so people are reporting seeing it. We did a YouTube video.
There's a whole
video
on it that talks about all the stuff, so go back and watch it. It's interesting.
Yeah. I wonder if the one where you made everybody cry is the one on the air, because that's not the one.
I don't know.
I don't know. There's one very emotional one. If you watch it on our YouTube channel, on our, our journey of the whole thing, you can see it. The crew was crying. Christopher's crying. I'm crying. The director's crying. Like we went through it for this commercial, y'all. So I hope that you will watch it, or you hope you get a chance to see it.
Darium says, thank you for being a member, Darium. Good evening, Durham's Downsized Dojo and visitors lurking from the trenches. I was just thinking, so Darium, I need to find some good like Eli Lilly lawyer graphics that can bounce up every once in a while, because they're watching. So say hello to the Eli Lilly lawyers. Hello,
Hi,
Eli Lilly lawyers.
David Ricks, we'd love to interview you.
Yeah, come on. We would love to talk to you.
Send me an email to Laraine at thedownsized.org. I'll send you a link and you can sign up for a time
Novo
that works
Nordisk.
for you.
We'll talk to any of you. Viking, any of the manufacturers. Love to have you on.
Yeah, we can adjust for time differences if you're, overseas at Novo
Happy
Nordisk.
to make pricing recommendations, service recommendations.
Novo Nordisk is really good at negotiations, we hear these days. So call us and tell us your tricks. Buster Sugar Granny?
Buster Sugar Annie, I think. I don't see a Granny in there.
Or Buster. All right, sorry. I called you Granny Annie. I love you guys. I had a rough day at work and welcome the humor. Love, Peggy. Well, Peggy, but that's not in your name. I thought it was Annie. Well, thank you for watching, Peggy, and thanks for your comment.
Let's see
all
here.
Right, what else? Aussie
Craig says sad day for company.
No, really.
It'll be okay.
It's
but let's
fine.
talk about it. So let me
tell your spiel.
Pop. Let's see here. Which one of these do I want? Not that one.
Have y'all drank your water today? Go get some water really quick. It's going to take him a minute to figure out the graphics.
There we go.
And now we're here. All right.
Now we're here. So there's been a couple of TikToks. Dave put one out. Lee Fitz, the lawyer from California, put one out talking about the court today. And really, there wasn't that much said, and it shouldn't have surprised anybody. So what you see here is what's called the Pacer Monitor website. Here's what it actually says. I know you could not read it.
Sure. Am I reading this?
In a second, you can read it. Here's this is the Pacer Monitor website. So we pay for a subscription, and this is the federal database of cases. So for all of this, so you see this one posted today, and I check this. I actually have alerts. It text messages me whenever it posts something to this.
Aren't you special?
Such that all you gotta do is pay for it. You don't have to be special.
It's a business expense,
Yeah, you just have to pay for it. So it's not that hard. Let's see. Maybe that one's a little bit better. Yeah. So you can see it, and then
can you?
Here, if you like, do you like that one better? So
I feel like I'm reading an eye chart.
Well, you have it. That's the text in front of you, because I knew you could not read that on screen.
Should I now read it?
Sure. Why don't you read what that says?
Wednesday, May 7th, 2025. Opinion in order. Plaintiff's 121 motion for summary judgment is denied, and the FDA defendants' 124, 127 motions for summary judgment are granted. What's that mean?
We'll read it and then we'll
The
talk about it.
undersigned finds it appropriate to file this unredacted opinion under seal. It is ordered that on or before 4 p.m., May 13th, 2025, that's next week, the parties shall submit an agreed upon version of the order containing any appropriate redactions. After receiving and reviewing the parties' version, the court will issue the redacted order. Ordered by Judge Mark Pittman on 5/7/25.
So for those of you that are following along, this case is the Outsourcing Facilities Association versus the FDA, in which the Outsourcing Facilities Association asserted that the FDA had not followed proper procedure in declaring that Tirzepatide was no longer in shortage. Good to clarify it because they did. And what they said was, you didn't actually prove it. You just took Eli Lilly's word for it. And they presented all this evidence that it wasn't, that it was still in shortage, right? So what the judge really ruled on was procedural. It wasn't necessarily on whether or not it was in shortage. So that's an interesting point. And this was the follow-up to a prior ruling. So basically, he had declared this same exact ruling.
The judge.
A week or a month ago or something like that.
Right.
And then the OFA appealed it to the higher court, and the judge came back and said, well, wait a minute, let me reconsider because judges don't like to be overturned.
Don't you be sending my judgment up to up to my boss. I'll take another look at it.
It's a bad mark for them if they get overturned because essentially that's the court saying you didn't make the right decision and they don't like that. So all of these last couple of weeks has been, they came in and both sides presented their cases. Eli Lilly as an interested party presented something. It was all kind of held in review. I did a whole big long video on that that talked about the transcripts from last week. So if you want to go and watch that, we had a live for that as well. So then this came back and he said, nope, I was right. My preliminary judgment was correct. And he shot it down.
So nothing really changed today.
No, nothing changed.
Nothing. There's no new news.
Well, the news is it didn't make it any further.
The news is Zepbound is still off the shortage list.
Which means 503B pharmacies, so those larger outsourcing pharmacies, technically must stop producing it because the only way legally a 503B pharmacy can manufacture like drug is if it's in shortage.
Right.
503A pharmacies, which are the other part of pharmacies, which are typically smaller local pharmacies designed to make personalized prescriptions for you. So Laraine is allergic to something in this medicine. Your doctor sends it to them.
I need my Tirzepatide compounded
well,
with
let's not go to
niacinamide.
Tirzepatide yet because that's not a great example.
It is a good example.
But they've been doing this for hundreds of years. So compounding pharmacies fill a legitimate need in the healthcare system. What happened when GLP-1s came along and shortages happened was they all kind of did the gold rush. And the laws and the regulations were never written for this volume. So you're pretty much in uncharted territory. And the 503As and their lawyers say, oh, we can keep doing this.
Because it's the law.
Because it's the law. And Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk and all those say, well, our interpretation of the law is you can't keep doing this. So what will inevitably happen is another round of court cases. And Eli Lilly is currently suing both compounding pharmacies and telehealth providers to kind of get to that, to decide whether the compounder's interpretation of the law is correct or whether Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk and the FDA's interpretation of the law is correct. I could argue it either way. I mean, the challenge is it's difficult to legally present an argument, and I am not a lawyer, but just in my weirdo logical brain, that anyone producing 10,000 prescriptions a day of the same exact thing is a personalized medication.
Doesn't sound very personalized to me, but I'll sure be ordering it. Don't you worry.
But I, like I said, there's smarter people out there than me that are lawyers on both sides.
So ideally, we'd love it if Zepbound stayed in shortage forever, right?
No, that's not true. Ideally, we'd love it if
the price
Eli
came
Lilly
down.
would release all the vials and lower the prices to a rational price because they legitimately own this patent.
That would be fantastic. and we will live for that day at some point,
Or Novo
sometime in the
Nordisk or whoever.
future when they want to lower the price. But today, when the price of this little baby is over $1,000 without insurance, or if you do have insurance, it doesn't cover it, you can get it for $650, or if you have the old coupon, $550 a month. Which
unless you're on Medicaid, Medicare.
Unless you're on Medicaid, Medicare,
case you
and
can't
then
do.
you got nothing. So anyway, all those prices are ridiculously expensive, right? So, but that's the price where we are today. So then we enter. So if this was in shortage, they could make compounded Tirzepatide like all day long, 1,000 doses at any, the standard doses, and nobody could say nothing, because if this is in shortage, they can make this all day long. But if this is no longer in shortage, which now it's officially, it's not in shortage, then you really can't make this all day long however you want. You have to make it a personalized dose. So what's a personalized dose? And, taking red dye out of a cough syrup for my daughter at a compounding pharmacy, which they've been doing for forever, isn't really the same as this new GLP-1, or is it the same as compounding a GLP-1 at a different dose level with maybe adding some vitamins into the compounding? Still a personalized dose.
Problem is, I have heard lawyers argue it both ways, and they both honestly sound like legitimate arguments.
Yeah, you can argue it both ways. You can argue it both ways. I prefer the way that gets me this at the best price. That's my argument. So actually, my overall argument is I just wanted a price I can afford, right? Because I've lost 54
you want more than
pounds.
that. I want a medication that works at a price I can afford.
Of course, I want it
safe.
Works. Yeah, of course. I'm not going to order. I'm not going to be mixing up stuff in my bathtub at home. Like, no, I'm not doing that, because you're injecting these things, and I'm not a doctor. I'm not a pharmacist. I'm not doing that. I need these to come from legal, safe pharmacies, compounding pharmacies, manufacturers.
So, Lily, you want to shut it down? Because you can. You want to save all that money on legal fees? You can lower the price. I think you can get it somewhere between $200 and $300. So I think you can get down to the compounded price.
Yeah, I think they should
still make a lot of money.
They should make all the vials $99 a month,
They're
any
not gonna
dose,
do that.
and you can make this $199 a month, any dose. That'd be ideal.
Why would they do that? It's the same medicine. Why would you charge double for this?
Because it's in the injector.
This thing's $2 from China.
They're charging double for it now.
There's no legitimate rationale for that.
The vials are what, $500? This is $1,000.
No, but
cash
very
pay?
few people, other than the sad Medicare, Medicaid people, are paying that much, though.
Well, so most people are, if you get the coupon today, are $650.
Yeah.
If you're on Medicare or Medicaid, you can't get it at all. You have to pay $1,200 or whatever the cash price is. So in Lorraine's ideal world,
it's not going to get you $99.
that could go to $199. The Lily vials could be $99. Everybody in America would buy them. Nobody would buy compounding anymore. Case
I think
closed.
your problem is
done.
when you set a price that low, you don't have a place for orforglipron to come in.
I don't care about orforglipron. I don't care about the future. I just want my medicine today.
They're not going to do it. I think they might be able to.
Orforglipron could come in at $50 a month.
They're not going to do that. It's not going to happen.
Well, in Lorraine's perfect world of fair and normal pricing, that's what I think they should do. I mean, because right now I'm paying $199 a month for compounded Tirzepatide.
Plus your membership fee.
Plus my membership fee.
So you're really about $300. So anywhere between $200 and $300 would get you to the
plus
same.
$79 is $278, right?
Yeah.
So I'm paying $278 for doctor visit, nutritionist visit, and compounded Tirzepatide.
So if they launched it at $295, it'd sell all day long.
Oh yeah, sure, $295. Yeah, for sure.
And I don't think there's
$399.
Literally,
probably.
I can go and order this tomorrow. A very remarkably similar pen to this. People say it's expensive now. They're like $2. Don't believe that.
What do you mean you can order
the injector pen? We can order these injector pens all day long from Alibaba.
I'm not
all
going
day
to
long.
fill
I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying the cost isn't the $2 that it costs to make these, and at their volume, it's probably not $2. It's probably 25 cents.
You know what?
It doesn't justify the increase.
No, the piece of plastic does not cost that much more, but I mean, they could charge more for the convenience of it, right? Rachel Cohen says, I'm on Zepbound, 5 milliliters for 3 months, losing 3 pounds weekly. That's good. But food noise creeping back, only like to inject in abdominal area. I only like to inject in abdominal area.
So what dose are you actually on,
5
Rachel?
milligram. Five.
Milliliters is a liquid measure, so that would be a unit measure.
Well, I think she means 5 milligrams. I mean, I'm gonna think she means 5 milligrams. So if you've been on 3 months and you're losing 2 to 3 pounds a week, that's a lot. Like the average weight loss is between a half a pound and 2 pounds a week on Zepbound. So if you're losing 2 to 3 pounds a week, you're good. The food noise creeping back, I don't know. Maybe you need to eat more protein. Maybe you're thirsty and maybe you need to drink some more water. Maybe you need to go eat a cookie. Like you can have a cookie if you want. Like it's okay, but just don't eat the whole bag, right? I don't want to eat the whole bag anymore. I can eat one and be good. Actually, I ate a few more than that today. But anyway, I digress. And you say you only like to inject in your abdominal area. Well, me too. I just go around the town every month. You can try a different site, but
here's the thing. Somehow titrating up has become something that people try not to do. And I get it. If you have a lot of weight, you want to stretch the medicine out and do the best.
But she's losing 2 to 3 pounds.
I realize that, but the titration process was designed by scientists to minimize side effects and to maximize weight loss. So the assumption was always that at some point you would have to move up, whether it's in a week, a month, a year, it doesn't matter. It may be different for everybody. So it's okay to move up. You don't get a special prize for staying on any.
No, if you need to move up, you move up. Yeah. If you're not losing weight, you move up. You're losing weight. Like,
well, but if the food noise is I mean, you just have to make that personal decision for you. And it's hard to say. The biggest challenge of all of this is starting to learn the difference between food noise and hunger. So your body might be saying, I'm hungry because I need nutrition, and that's okay.
Yeah, like
that's not the same thing as the Oreos from the closet calling me at 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, the Oreos don't call anymore, but I get hungry. Like
and I haven't had an Oreo in like 5 years.
But he loves an Oreo. We used to bring them in the house because we just eat the row. I mean, we just go down the rows and they'd be gone in like a day and a half. So some of those foods we just don't bring into the house anymore, but some.
But yeah, so I mean, it's a personal decision, and there's no right or wrong answer to that. The other thing I would look at is, are you losing weight? What are your side effects like? How are you feeling? How much more weight do you have to lose?
All valid.
No, I mean, I had an interesting conversation with a doctor the other day and asked, well, if I look at someone who's been on these medications for a year or 2 years, is there any difference in total weight loss between the person who titrated slowly and the person who titrated quickly?
Yeah.
Right. So at the end of 2 years, and the answer was, we have no earthly idea.
Well, and because people start at so many different points, right? Like male or female, your age,
the doctor suspected that there wouldn't be. The doctor suspected that over the course of time, it would all average out
to 1 to 2
but there's no research that says that. So
you know what? And I've talked to people who have lost 50 pounds on 2.5 and never moved up. I've talked to people who didn't lose weight on the first couple of titrations, and when they hit like 10, they started losing weight. And so everybody's going to be different on this journey. My journey is not going to look like his, not going to look like yours. So you have to become an expert in how your body is reacting to this medication. So you want to keep notes, you want to keep a journal, you want to have an app that goes to your scale so you can like see the trend lines and stuff like that. Why is there a dancing girl on the screen?
Because Chasing Sunshine became a member.
All right, thank you. Thanks for becoming a member. Is her name Melissa? Is your name Melissa?
I don't know.
I think it is. Thanks.
It's an excellent question, though.
I think I recognize her. Or I got that wrong. I probably just shouldn't guess, right? Eunice Duncan says, anyone use any other peptides like BP157? Never heard of her. I'm thinking about ordering it. It sounds like gray market, not legal things to me. What is
we don't do the other stuff. So there are, I know if Michael Clanton's on, Michael has all kinds of knowledge about that kind of stuff.
We don't go there.
Hello from Florida, Turning Sage.
Hello from Florida.
Oh, there's Michael Clanton. I just willed him in.
Only inject
157 TB 500 better. I'm not sure what that means.
I
I told you Michael would know, though.
Michael Clanton is has gone down some rabbit holes on
he researches
deep dives
a lot
on medications.
Yeah.
So we don't really.
I defer to him on that. I don't know.
We talk about Tirzepatide, semaglutide. That's pretty much it. Angela Bent says, hey, 61 pounds down on Zepbound. I watch your posts every day, but my first live. Love what you're doing. Well, thanks, Angela. Thanks for joining us. 61 pounds down on Zepbound. Amazing. Amazing. What's Laraine say? There's nothing better than sliced bread. What did I say was better than sliced bread?
I'm not sure.
It was at the beginning when I was on my rant, wasn't it?
That's hard to say.
It's all a blur now. It's fun. So for fun, do the studies that indicate that GLP-1s benefit all sorts of things like sleep apnea, cardiac, liver, and more assume that you are on the highest dose?
No, they don't. But here's the thing is you have to look at the individual studies. In most cases, they do not. In fact, the cardiac stuff you see pretty much benefit from the very first dose. But they get really deep. And if you search for the studies on Google, you can find them. So search research on GLP-1s, Tirzepatide, cardiac, sleep apnea, whatever you're interested in, you can find them. They'll typically be in JAMA or Health or one of the journals. So they're a little dense. But they're out there and you can look at them and it'll walk you through, and it'll also show you a lot of times charts that show the improvement from medication and from weight loss. And it's kind of difficult to tell where one starts and the other stops, but you should see some benefits even at lower doses. Now, how low a dose? That's a different question. Let's see here. What do we have here? Steph V.
Super chat. Thank you, Steph V, for your super chat. She says, you're the reason I understand GLP-1s. Oh, thanks. Just paid $25 for Zepbound, feeling like you two should be sponsored by Eli Lilly. Until then, here's a small thank you.
Thank you very much,
Stephanie. You know what? You know, we just want our medicine, right? This has been life-changing. This has been life-changing medication for both of us. I know it's been life-changing for y'all out there. So, and I'm happy that, you know, we can share what we've learned with our viewers out there. So thanks for watching. Bradley says, hi, folks. Good to see you both. I took my 4th shot yesterday, and I've lost 8.4 pounds so far. And look at that cute kitty. Look at that cute kitty.
Our kitty might join us. Who knows?
Is
JoJo outside? I don't know.
She's inside.
She might join us.
She's inside.
JoJo is a kitty of mystery. You just never know.
JoJo's our kitty. Thanks. Nature Girl says, I meant to say I saw your Mochi commercial on Fox 4 around 8:30 a.m. Central while I was at the gym.
That means it was on broadcast, though.
Fox 4.
Or maybe it was on
Fox.
Yeah, that would be broadcast.
Yeah. Wow.
I haven't seen
weird.
Any. Yeah.
We haven't seen it in the wild yet.
No,
like we haven't been watching TV and been like, oh my God, that's me. That would be crazy. I've alerted my relatives. I've alerted my family that, you know, they might see me on their TV. Deb says, Laraine, I have a question. When you order ahead of time and they ask the date of final dose or prescription, you know, I say like 5 days in the past. Like, they don't put whatever you want. How do you answer this when your ordering is not going to be used for months? They don't check.
There's no way for them to know. Yeah.
I mean, people get so hung up. Oh, they're going to know it's not. They don't check. Like, that's how I do it. I think they have like tried to tighten it up. Somebody said today they saw on the Mochi site, your next date you can reorder is this date. So hello from Scotland, Jeanette Dunn. Hello. So I went and looked on the Mochi site a little while ago, and it said I can reorder on, I think it said May 13th. Yeah. And I think I placed my last order on May 3rd. That's the order that's going to come to my doorstep tomorrow. So that's only 10 days apart.
And I will tell you, we have ordered from other places. So I have a 5-month supply from Orderly too.
Well,
so.
he has. I've got enough credits with Mochi.
Because
to
what
last
happens
till
is
the
there's
end of
no
time.
master database of prescriptions or anything out there. So,
Yeah.
and they can't share because of the privacy laws. So
Yeah.
they don't know if you've seen somebody else and gotten prescriptions from somewhere else. They have no earthly idea.
Well, but even with the same one, reordering it, I mean, what I've been doing is as soon as I get the refill lands on my doorstep, I wait like a day or 2 days or 3 days, and then I put in another reorder. That's what I've done for the past like maybe 3 reorders. But some of those reorders took, 2 weeks to, just because of bottlenecks and problems and what have you. So I just figure as long as I always have one in process.
Yeah. Here's a good question from Anessa.
Mr. Bradley says, were you scared to start a GLP-1? Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, number one, it was expensive. Number two, I got to inject myself with a needle. Like I did Saxenda a few years ago, and I was kind of freaked out to do that. And I didn't really ever like it. Didn't really ever get the hang of it. And Christopher had to give me my first, 3 or 4 weeks of injection because I just couldn't do it. But now I'm like, bing, bang, boom, bam, boom. I've done, what week are we on? Like 80. We're on week 84. I've done 84 plus injections. So
yeah, I mean, especially if you're out there looking around, I mean, to read the Facebook groups and the Reddit groups and all of that stuff, you think that everybody is about to die from
side effects.
And
it's just not.
And everybody
true.
has constipation about where they're going to end their life. Everybody's nauseous. Everybody has gastroparesis. Everybody has all these terrible things. The reality of the research is, for any individual side effect from both Eli Lilly drugs and Novo Nordisk drugs, somewhere between 20 and 30% of people have the side effect.
20%
have the side effect. Now, the number goes down when they have the side effects so extreme that they want to go off the drug. So it's only about 5% of people that actually have it so severe that they'll want to go off the drug. So is it possible you have side effects? Absolutely, it's possible. Honestly, we have had very, very minimal side effects, but you have to, number one, have a good local doctor, talk to them, communicate. So if you're nauseous, they can give you things, ask questions here, watch what you're eating, manage your constipation. Laraine loves to talk about managing constipation.
Do I love
you do?
So I also want to say, I've been listening to, we had Dr. Soa on for an interview.
Soa.
Dr. Alexandra Soa. She also is on Instagram. She's all over a lot of platforms, right? She wrote a book called The Ozempic Revolution. It's not just about Ozempic. It really should have been called like the GLP-1 Revolution, but everybody's heard of Ozempic, so catch your title. So I've been listening to her book on Spotify because I read the book and then I forget what I did, 2 weeks ago. So I've been listening to it in the mornings when I'm getting ready. And a chapter that I listened to today talked about how she was working with a man and he was on semaglutide, Wegovy, and he was getting very, very nauseous. So they had cut back his dose, but then he plateaued and had stopped losing weight. And she said, well, would you rather go up in dose and be nauseous and lose weight, or would you rather not be nauseous and stay where you are? So he decided to be nauseous and try to lose a little bit more weight. Well, then Zepbound came out and she switched him to Zepbound and nausea went away. So sometimes, talk to your doctor about stuff like that, because maybe one of the other medicines are better for you, and there might be other things that you can do.
But yeah, so is it scary? Sure, it's scary. And honestly, I'll tell you, probably no one was more skeptical than I was about this. I really just kind of believed we were going to flush thousands of dollars down the toilet.
Which I've done plenty.
It was witchcraft and voodoo, and it wasn't going to work.
Potions and Weight Watchers memberships and new memberships and Jenny Craig and what.
And then all of a sudden, 4 months later, 5 months later, we're starting a YouTube channel because this stuff worked and we wanted to tell everybody about it.
Works so good.
But I mean, level set your expectations. So can you lose weight? Absolutely. Most people can lose weight. Not everyone can. So there's a small percentage that it doesn't work on. But don't believe that judging yourself against how other people are losing is a reality. The only thing that matters is you. And as long as you're averaging between 0.5 and 2 pounds, so averaging, not any individual week can be up or down, but you're looking at here's 3 weeks, here's 4 weeks, here's 52 weeks. You look at that average. How much did you lose over 52 weeks on average?
1.56 pounds per week.
I think that's
I know,
really
because
where
I kept data.
So sure, there will be people that lose 17 pounds the first month. Don't worry about them. Maybe that's you. Maybe it's not. Just keep going. You'll get it. You'll get it. Come back here. Tell us how you're doing.
I was trying to see. Oh, so in 27 weeks, I lost 1.58 pounds per week, which was 42.6 pounds. I went from 193 to 150. I mean, I had never been able to get below 170 as a grown up, right? Since like middle school. So I was thrilled. And then after I hit the 150s, I started dropping my dose down. I kept losing. So I got to the 140s. And then I was 140 for a while. I dropped my dose down to 5, and now I'm 138. So I kind of have been holding between 138 and 140. So I'm just kind of, I don't track my food. I mean, I try to get 60 to 90 grams of protein in a day. Try to get 20 to 30 grams of protein at each meal. I'm just trying to remember what we had for dinner. I probably got it at dinner. Anyway, I mean, it's an estimate, right? And I can see it on the scale. If I'm losing, like I told Christopher, said, I lost another half a pound. I'm not eating enough, right? So I have to remember to eat more. I forget to eat snacks now. Like I don't really don't think about it. But I have Greek yogurt in the refrigerator. We have some like nuts and some,
A case of jerky down there.
I'm not a big beef jerky fan. Yeah, somebody sent us a case of beef jerky for our other business, and our daughter likes it. I'm like, I'm not, Anyway, I don't know what I was talking about now. Becky Clark says, good to see y'all again. Thanks for your information shared. Wish you find some good information on Zepbound GLP-1. Got my Caremark letter in the mail a few days ago, discontinuing Zepbound.
Yeah, we reported on that on the news this week. What I would say is there is a little trickle of hope. Some of the doctors that we've talked to are out there exploring whether there is a possibility for your doctor to be able to do what's called a continuation of care memo and try and get it approved. I haven't heard anybody who's been able to do it yet, but it's worth asking your doctor.
What I say to that is, may the odds be ever in your favor.
Yeah, absolutely.
That sucks. I'm sorry for all those Caremark people. Marlea's 360, best day of the week. Hello? What W or wave 2? My favorite downsized people and shot day.
Wednesday, I think.
Oh, all right. Y'all be shortening too many things. I can't follow along. So far down 62 pounds. That's awesome. Yeah. So you take your shot on Wednesday. All right. Shout out to all you Wednesday shot takers. Christopher and I are Friday shot takers. What's the best day of the week to take a shot, Christopher?
Today.
Whatever day you can remember to take it is the best day. If you're just starting, what's the best time to take your shot, Christopher? Today. Right now is the best time to take your shot. Now, we like Friday because then it gives us a little bit more appetite suppression over the weekend. The shot has what they call a half-life in your body of 5 days. So 5 days after you take your shot, you might start to feel a little hungrier on day 5, 6, and 7 than you felt on days 1, 2, 3, 4.
So there's 660 people out there. Hello, everybody.
That's a lot of people.
There's 249 likes.
Party people in the house.
Hello, party people in the house. My name is Christopher Durham. And who are you?
I'm Laraine Durham.
There's surely all 667 of them are going, who are these two people on the screen, right?
No, they follow us. They like us. They have subscribed to
or
our
maybe
channel.
they just saw the thumbnail.
What? You mean you're not?
And they thought, Tirzepatide crisis? What is going on?
You're not subscribed to our channel? Quick, hit the subscribe button. We've almost got 16,000 subscribers. We are
cruising along.
And while you're here, you might as well hit the like button because, you don't want to hurt my feelings.
So if you're just looking for the news about Tirzepatide and the OFA versus the FDA court case, we'll rehash it a little bit.
Oh, go ahead.
And you're welcome to ask more questions if you'd like. But essentially, the judge came back after relooking at the case and said, nope, the FDA was correct. It's still in shortage. So
No, it's not in shortage.
I'm sorry, it's not in shortage. I misspoke. Right. It is no longer in shortage, such that 503B pharmacies can no longer produce.
It's off the shortage list.
That is correct.
Right. So theoretically, you should be able to go into any pharmacy in America and say, I want to order some of that Zepbound. And they should be able to say, here you go. That'll be $1,000. Not in shortage.
All right. What does Downsizing Diva say?
Downsizing Diva says, hello, Shay. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Laraine, my eyes remind me that they are 52 years old at some point every day. You know, my eyes did not start going till I think I was about 45, and they really did not start going till 50. So I don't know. What are you going to do, right? Thank you, Douglas, for becoming a member of Club Downsized. If you would like to become a member, you can click that join button. Not right now, because that'll take you somewhere else, but maybe later. And you can see how to support us further in our journey to become full-time YouTube content creators. So all of our content is free, but if you would like to support us a little further, join the Club Downsized. Becky Clark says, good to see y'all again. Thanks for your information shared. Wish you find some good information on Zepbound GLP-1 Got my camera. I think I've already read this.
It's a slightly different version of it. I think she must have just reposted it.
Sorry, Becky.
No worries.
Caremark is now making everybody go to Wegovy pretty much. So they struck a deal with Novo Nordisk. Apparently, Kolchak 357 says, "Can we get a rerun from What's Happening?"
Rerun from What's Happening. You remember What's Happening? Raj. What was the girl's name?
What's Happening?
What was the little sister's
they always
name?
There was the fat guy, right? And he was always like the butt of the jokes. Was his name Rerun?
His name was Rerun. He danced. Yeah,
and he must have been like 400 pounds, and it was
He's a big
always
guy.
like funny, right? Because Rerun, he's running down the street and blah blah. Yeah, no. Glinda from Texas. Hello from Texas Hill Country. There's hill countries in Texas.
Yeah, for sure.
Where's there hills in Texas? I thought Texas was like flat. IDK.
My Texas geography knowledge is minimal.
I used to live in Duncanville, Texas as a child.
Doris Goody says, question, what does it mean to gift a membership? So if you would like to give a membership to Club Downsized, you can go on and pay for 5 memberships, 10 memberships, whatever, and it will give them out to anybody who's just randomly to people on the stream, and it lasts for 30 days or something. It's not a permanent
month, I guess.
For a month, I think.
So,
and it's just a nice thing you can do if you would like to. You don't have to, but we do appreciate it. It's
nice. How many people are in Club Downsized these days? A couple hundred, right?
There's like 140.
We did a live for Club Downsized members yesterday on Tuesday, and usually he puts up a list, and I didn't think about it. So all these people, all these lovely folk are members of Club Downsized. So you have a separate Facebook group.
You new ones that just joined aren't on that. But
of course, like it doesn't automatically
I did that right
update. This is a manual import list Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah,
right? So separate emojis. You get. I'm running out of steam. My steam just ran out. You get a separate live. So we did like Tuesday night, we did a Club Downsized live just for members. There's a separate Facebook page, and just if you want to, that's cool. Thanks, and we appreciate you. You can make that go away now. All right. I can't think about the hour mark in. I start to poop out. All right, so y'all click the like and subscribe. Oh, we got 322 likes now. Somebody hit the like button. Thanks. Have you hit the like button? Hit the like button. All right, so Teresa Rose says, I've used Zepbound and Compound, not together, LOL, and I've lost 20 pounds in 5 weeks. Wow. That's super fast, Teresa Rowe. And I pray I can take the rest of my life. It's a miracle, in my opinion. Thanks for all you guys do. Yeah, so that's a fast weight loss. So when you lose weight too fast, it can be bad too. So you need to watch that a little bit. Robin Cunningham says, good evening, down 55.3 since October 1st. Awesome, Robin Cunningham. See, that's when we started. We started September 29th of 2023. And then you go through Christmas, you go through Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, and you're like, I'm losing weight every week. This is a miracle. And you think, oh, who starts a weight loss plan right before the holidays? Just start. No matter what you've got coming up, just start, because this is just going to make your life better in a million different ways. Tanya looks like a Greek last name, Kortikis. Yeah, close enough, right? Hello. Today is my shot day number 5 for me, so I'm new at this. I have a question. Do you think it's best to eat only when I feel hungry, stomach growling, or should I eat breakfast, lunch, dinner? All right, this is a great question, because at the beginning, maybe you're 5 weeks in, maybe you're just starting, and you don't want to look at food. It makes you nauseous to think about. Maybe you can barely choke some food down, maybe at dinner time, 5 bites and you're full. You do the best you can in those beginning weeks. Try to eat your protein first. Don't worry so much about anything else in those first few weeks. You need to get your protein in, because that will really continue to fuel your body. And then as protein shakes are helpful when you don't feel like eating anything. Christopher never eats breakfast. He just he never has. He doesn't care about it. I've always eaten.
But it's not some
breakfast.
Philosophical choice. It's just
he just doesn't.
Yeah.
I usually eat breakfast, and I try to eat 30 grams of protein at breakfast, 30 grams at lunch, and 30 grams of dinner. It is good to, if your stomach is growling, you need to eat. That's just.
You need the nutrients to keep everything going good. So, and some fiber will help things process. And so you need to eat.
Yeah. So only when you feel hungry. I mean, definitely eat when you feel hungry. And I would say to try to get something in at those 3 meal times, those 3 traditional meal times of the day. Maybe it's just a protein shake in your coffee. Maybe it's a piece of chicken breast. Maybe it's a lean cuisine. I don't know. You have to figure out what works best for you. And y'all don't come at me about the lean cuisines, because, we're not perfect over here. And
Mink says, why can't Lily offer patient assistance programs for Zep like they do for other? Well, they have discount cards. So you can go to the Zepbound Eli Lilly site and submit a thing. And the card is free. And it will get, if it's a new card, it down to $650. The unfortunate part about it is, because of federal law, folks on Medicare and Medicaid and a couple of other government programs cannot use those coupons. So they have to pay full price. So there's a lot of folks out there that still can't do it.
Yeah. So there's
can't see that.
So there's a Zepbound savings card that you can download from the Eli Lilly website, like Christopher said. And
then they sell the vials as well that are cheaper. So, I mean, they're $3.95 and $4.99 or something like that.
Still expensive, though.
Yeah, it's expensive for sure.
$6.50 a month for this is, that's with the savings card. And then if you want to get the Eli Lilly Direct little vials, that's what, $4.99, $500 a month cash pay through their Eli Lilly Direct service. So.
Jazzy MDG's a member. Thank you, Jazzy. Says the little sister on D. Well, that's right. She was sassy. She was running them.
Little sassy girl.
I remember that.
I love a little sassy girl on TV. Yes. I forgot about little D.
It says no crisis. So the thumbnail says, no, I actually do think there is a Tirzepatide crisis. And I think there is, because of the challenges of Eli Lilly and all of this, the court cases, and I think the whole CVS deal with Novo Nordisk is going to create a lot of problems for people.
Yeah,
I think when you combine those two things, it's a hot mess out there. Now, could Eli Lilly come in and lower the price and ride in on their white horse and be the hero? Absolutely, that's what they should do. Are they going to? Who the heck knows?
Oh, we got another super chat.
Wayne Whitmer.
Super chat from Wayne Whitmer. Thank you for your super chat. Made it 2 nights in a row. Isn't that special?
Yeah, that's right.
special. Remember that from the Saturday Night Live church lady, Dana Carvey?
Mhm.
And that's special. We're all Gen Xers here, right? Approximately. I think most of our watchers are
I think there's
like
quite a few a lot older
45
than that,
and up. We don't have many 20-year-olds watching. If you're in that 20 to 40 age range, send me a message and let me know you're watching, because otherwise I'll just talk in all the Gen X talk. Me and Wayne Whitmer, right? Wayne. Okay. Wayne's World, party time. Excellent. The truth matters. I was supposed to take my shot today, 5 milligrams, and I'm waiting for my prior authorization to get approved. All right. So, Christopher, why don't you tell the folks out there, what's a prior authorization or PA? What does that mean? And why do I need
prior
one?
authorization is the most bizarre thing, or it's one of the many bizarre parts of the American healthcare system, in which your doctor writes a prescription, right? So I'm a doctor.
Right.
I write a prescription. It says Laraine needs Zepbound.
I'm going to get.
And she takes her prescription
I'm
to
going to go to CVS and get my Zepbound.
Right. She takes her prescription to CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, Joe's Pharmacy, whatever, it doesn't matter. And they submit it to your insurance, and they fill and it's sitting there on the counter, and the insurance says, wait a minute. We want to ask the doctor, are you sure?
Are you sure you meant to prescribe that, doctor?
Because obviously we, as the insurance company, know better medically than you do.
This is an expensive medication. Are you sure there's not something cheaper that you could prescribe instead? So let's just ask the doctor. Mr. Insurance is asking Mr. Doctor, you sure you meant to prescribe that very expensive, very effective GLP-1 medication? They don't really need it, right? Weight loss. Like, they just need to diet and exercise, maybe, right?
So prior authorizations, it's the joys of a very complex system.
So the doctor has to say, yeah, I really meant to authorize that for my patient. She needs it. Would you please fill it? And then the insurance company either says, all right, we'll cover it, or no, we don't cover that, or maybe you should go on metformin, or maybe, no, just flat out, we're not going to cover it. Or maybe hip hooray, you've won the lottery and you can now have it for $25.
Or in our case, where our insurance doesn't cover it at all, and they still submit it.
Yeah, and they still
and
deny it.
Gets turned down every time. And I think there's someone at the insurance company just laughing, because they're like, no, you make
weight loss, GLP-1s, that'll never work, right?
The truth matters says, I don't like 5 milligrams. I feel hungry on it, and now I'm missing it. I hope I don't gain. Well, let's hope you don't.
Yeah, so probably you were getting it like a super great price covered through your insurance, and now your insurance is saying, whoa, let's double check that, doctor. So maybe you can push your doctor's office to reply. Maybe you can call your insurance company and push them to approve the prior authorization. Maybe you need to call your pharmacy and say, hey, did you hear back from the insurance company? There's just a lot of layers, right, to get these things moving, and it's all just such a pain. You got to make it a full-time job to get this medication sometimes.
Oh, then for one cent says, under your name, it says Velocity Institute, your other job. So somebody asked, so the Velocity Institute, I changed it, and you can't see it. I just changed it. Velocity Institute, so we use this account for them as well. If you want to see some really boring YouTube, you can go watch our other channel.
Nobody watched that one at all.
No.
We never got no 611 concurrent viewers on that one.
But the Velocity Institute is a company that I founded after writing a blog for, 15 years about the private brand industry. So if you don't know what private brand is if you went to Walmart and bought a brand that they own. So the food brand that they own that most people know is called Great Value. If you bought the camping brand they own, it's called Ozark Trail.
You could only get those brands
at
Walmart.
If you went to Target, the food brand is called Good and Gather. Or the women's clothing brand might be called A New Day. So there's lots of them, and it's across virtually every category. Almost every retailer owns them. So we run a whole business where we do conferences and thought leaderships and a YouTube channel where we talk to retailers about their brands and how they manage them and market them.
There's a whole group of people that's their whole job.
Yep.
Is to develop them, to buy them, to source them, to manufacture them, to design packages for them. So Christopher became an expert in that space when he was working for...
I've worked for a couple of different retailers.
Yeah, for a big home improvement store. And he started writing this blog on private brands. And I said, well, that's really dumb. nobody's going to read that. Who's reading that? Like me and your mom and maybe like 3 other people. But then people did read it, and he turned it into a full-time business, quit his job. And then now I also work on the Velocity Institute, and we're having a conference in Charlotte next week. We're having a little over 200 people, and we'll have speakers from different retailers like CVS and
Whole Foods and Albertsons,
a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a thing.
So and then we'll go to Amsterdam and give out package design competition the following week. So it'll be interesting next couple of weeks. But what that consequently meant was I had all this cameras and lights and all this equipment that came after the pandemic, because everything had gone virtual. So we still did conferences and events virtually. Conferences. And when we got to a place where we were taking these meds and they were working, I was like, I've got all this equipment. Maybe we should start a channel.
I said, well, I could talk about weight loss from now to the end of time, because I've only been trying to lose weight like since my whole life, like since my mom was taking away my candy bar at the pool at age 6 and saying, no, you can't have that like your skinny sister can. So yeah. Trauma dump much? No, thank you. Okay. Back to regularly scheduled programming. Mink says, any new studies re muscle loss?
I haven't seen any, but we track. I mean, I've got 42 different Google searches going on and all that.
So when you lose weight, you're probably going to lose some muscle too, right? So you can't really choose what your body decides to get rid of when it's in a calorie deficit. You hope that it gets rid of the fat. You want to get rid of the fat. You want to keep the muscle, and you want to get rid of the fat. And one way that you can try to achieve that is to make sure you're eating enough protein and do some exercise weight resistance training. Okay. Even if you're doing all that, you still can't really choose what your body's going to do. And, personally, I tried to hit my protein target. I worked out 3 to 5 times a week. I still lost a good bit of muscle. So, I had one doctor tell me it was possible to even build muscle in a calorie deficit, but it's super hard to do that, right? So you don't want to lose the muscle that you currently have. So that's why protein is so important. And
so we have an interview coming out tomorrow with Dr. Carolyn Francavilla, who was the obesity medicine doctor of the year, fascinating lady. And we talk about this in a good bit of detail, and she really talks about muscle function.
Yeah.
And so the whole notion that losing muscle is bad, of course, we want to maintain muscle, but some of you out there, and I know some of you have lost 100 pounds, 200 pounds, and you started at 500 and now you're 300 or whatever. You simply don't need the same amount of muscle there. So her question was, when she began to review people, she would do exercises with them. So how many times could you get up and out of a chair? What's your grip strength? Because she was looking for function.
Yeah.
Because it was about making sure at whatever your final weight was, you had the muscle to be able to take care of yourself, to move like you wanted to move, to not fall down, all those things.
So if you fall down and break a hip, that's pretty much the end of your life a lot of times. Right. So we want to be strong enough to be able to function in our life. I want to be strong enough to carry my suitcase through the airport and put it up on the overhead and punch my husband.
But if you go back and watch some of the news episodes, we have done episodes that had muscle research in them. I can't recall them off the top of my head. So watch all of them, because that's good. Just kidding. You don't have to do that.
There'll be a quiz.
There'll be a quiz later, but it's out there. And we've also talked about, there's a couple of medications in development that are specifically targeted to help maintain muscle and would be co-therapies. So maybe it would be written with Tirzepatide or semaglutide. Let's see here. Barb.
Hey, Barb, health at any cost. Thank you for your super chat. Oh, you don't have to do that, Barb. People worried about top dose and it stopping working. Right. Barb's a good example of this. I've been on 15 milligrams times 19 months and doing great. Started at 405 pounds 3 years ago am 5'1". Today, she is 124 pounds. Not 124 pounds lost, but she weighs 124 pounds, and she started at 405 pounds. So this lady is amazing. Check out her blog, Health at Any Cost. Check out her YouTube channel. She's coming with us on the cruise. We haven't talked about the Downsized cruise.
Yeah.
And she's in maintenance now for 5 months, and she's doing great. So just really an amazing story. And this lady, Barb, had tried literally everything from fen to surgery to different weight loss drugs, and just at one point, like almost giving up. And then now she's lost down to 124 pounds. So anyway, congratulations, Barb. That's amazing. Michael Dietz. Hey, Michael Dietz. I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you both. Been a little bit since I could chime in. Thank you for your continued work and videos for all of us on GLP-1s. I think did your wife go on it too, Michael? I think you said she was going to start. How's that going? How are y'all doing? Let us know. So, yeah, so we've been doing this YouTube channel now since March of 2024.
Yep.
And so, hang out with us. We get to know people. We want to know how they're doing. We want you to tell us, keep us posted. So make sure you hit subscribe so you can keep up with us. I don't know how to say that.
Zenaid, sure.
Zenaid Valdez. Question: I'm Tirzepatide for 1 year, lost 60 pounds. Now I found out I have thyroid modular. Do this because shot. I don't really know what that means, so I'm going to say that's something to definitely talk to your doctor about. And I think there are some, thyroids are tricky, and that's...
there are some call-outs in the medication information around thyroids. We're not doctors,
doctors.
Please talk to your doctor. Does it specifically cause that, if that's what the question is? I don't think so, but again, not a doctor.
There's like some kind of medullary thyroid warning on the box for Zepbound. Something to talk to your doctor about. You know who doesn't have a thyroid is Dr. Spencer Nadolski.
Oh, that's right.
He does not have a thyroid. He is a doctor who works with obesity medications and people with the disease of obesity, and he doesn't have a thyroid, so he has to take medication. And he talks about it a lot on his social media platforms. If you wanna follow him.
Yeah.
I think Taisha gave us a super chat.
Well, let's do this, and then we'll talk.
I'm being very patient. I have Cigna, and they work with
Omada Health.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's she hasn't gotten her prior authorization. Let's see. Oh, here's Taisha. Hello, Taisha.
Hey, Taisha. Thank you for your super chat. That's sweet. I've been on 5 milligrams for over 60 weeks, and I've had no issues with the efficacy of this medication, thankfully. Don't be afraid to go up as needed.
That's right. Do what works for you.
Some people are great on the lower doses. Some people need, most people need to go up, so you just have to find what works for you.
Janice Bull, can 503B pharmacies still sell through their stock, just not make any more? Theoretically.
I've seen them do it.
Well,
I've seen them
you're not really. Problem is,
who's stopping?
You're not really buying from a 503B pharmacy. You're buying from a telehealth company, in most cases, who's purchasing from a 503B pharmacy. And I think there still are a few out there that have some inventory in stock, but your challenge is that the dates have essentially run out. So,
well, and aren't some pharmacies both 503As and 503Bs?
Well, Empower, I think, is both.
Yeah. So,
but it's a weird thing, and they end up having to have separate buildings, and I mean, I think the reality is the people who theoretically. Not even theoretically, the people who regulate that is the FDA. The FDA doesn't actually have a police force, right? There's no FDA police like,
monitoring,
like CSI out there busting down doors to look at things.
Hello, FDA, we want to see your compounding facility.
It doesn't exist. So they can send out letters and say things, and if there's needs to be an investigation, they can. But although it is a large agency, they're not really designed to.
And didn't they just fire like a bunch of people from the FDA?
Yeah.
Wasn't that part of the reduce the government?
I don't think we ever saw lists of who
I've also heard through the grapevine that a lot of times people leave the FDA and then go to work for Big Pharma.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot of crossover for sure. Let's see here. Marlene Lara says, hit that like and subscribe. Absolutely, like and subscribe. There's 570 of you out there and 397 likes. I don't know that we've ever got to 400 likes, so we're almost there.
All right, 3 more people. Hit the like button.
Barb knows. Here we go.
It's called medullary thyroid cancer, and there has never been one case of it from the meds in humans, only in rats. Right. I think Dr. Spencer talked to us about that, or maybe he talked about it on his channel. It's only happened in rats, and the cells in rats are very different than the cells in humans, but they even so put the warning on the Zepbound box. Here's Kitty. Jojo Cornelius. Did y'all? Here she is. It's the Jojo. Jojo has joined the chat. Jojo's middle name is Cornelius. She's Jojo Cornelius Durham. And why Cornelius, you say? I don't know. I think I was remembering that Santa Claus is coming to town. Wasn't his name Cornelius, or somebody was? Yukon Cornelius. I don't know. All right. Mink says, I've forgotten what hungry feels like, but do get acid reflux when hungry. It doesn't seem to be a good idea to go for long periods without eating. Yeah, I mean, 3 meals a day is what I go for. And when I was really full into losing, I don't know that I would ever really get hungry, right? Now that I've been on maintenance and stepped back my dose a little bit, I do get hungry for lunch, dinner, especially breakfast, here and there maybe. But acid reflux, that's no fun. So there's some things you can take for that. So I would definitely ask your doctor and try to manage that.
Anthony says, did you guys get in contact with the Empower people for an interview? So I reached out to the Empower marketing team, and I tried to link to the Empower CEO who did the interview with Dr.
Gabrielle Lyon.
Dr. Gabrielle Lyons.
Another one of my favorite doctors.
And I haven't heard back. So we'll keep poking them. I'll tell you, I'm a little burned on talking to telehealth and compounding pharmacy people. I don't know. We just didn't work out great for us.
After being named in a lawsuit against one of them.
So I'm not. Plus, I know the story he's going to say. We all know the story he's going to say. Would I love to talk to him? Sure, absolutely, be happy to talk to him. But I don't know that it's going to be anything new.
I would love to talk to him. Call us Empower Pharmacy. All in her movements. I like that the show What's Happening. I'm on my first shot, and it appears I have gained 1 pound, but will not give up.
No, you got this.
First shot. That's nothing, girl. Come talk to me when you're 87 shots in.
you get confetti for the first shot.
You started.
Yeah, you started.
That shot is scary, and you did it, and your body has to it's going, what is happening? What is this foreign thing doing to my body? So you got to give it 90 days at least. Dr. Payne Nestor, thank you for your super chat. Hey guys, I hit a year on the big T. It's been good overall. 70 pounds down. Maintenance dose 2 times a month.
Tirzepatide.
Dr. Payne Nestor, you need to come on and let's talk. We need to have an interview about your maintenance dose 2 times a month, because people keep asking me if I'm going to do that, and I'm a little don't think I want to do that so much. So I'd love to learn more about how that's working for you.
People want to know when I'm going down. They're like, there's a pressure. They're like, you should go down. You should go down. I'm like, oh, I'm good. I'm fine.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to conserve medication.
Yeah,
personally.
I mean, there's a valid argument for that, for sure.
Yeah. But congratulations, Dr. Payne Nestor. And thank you for your super chat.
9 Patch says, Boomer, here living my best life. I think there's a lot of boomers out there, girl, so don't.
How old are boomers? Are boomers like 65 plus? 60 plus? Like, we're old Gen Xers, right? We're on the old end of Gen X.
I think we're in the middle of it.
We're in the middle of it. So I'm 56. So I was born in 1969. So I don't know when my mother was born in 1945. I think she's technically a boomer. Right?
I don't know.
On the edge, maybe. Michael Dietz says she started for 2 months, and then Mochi stopped sending her the meds. Oh no, she's still waiting. Unfortunately, they don't respond to her communication at all. My daughter started too, and send me an email telling me your problem, and I can push it through for you. Send me an email to Laraine at the Downsized.
We do not work for them.
I don't work for
She doesn't have any magical powers.
I don't have any magical powers, but I do have we are still sponsored by Mochi for the cruise, and I do have a what do you call them, influencer manager person that works there. So, and they really want to get all these issues resolved, right? Because in March, when Aketa Pharmacy got shut down and Power Pharmacy got sued and Mochi got sued, like everything just kind of like froze for a minute, and some things got lost in the shuffle, and they really want to resolve these issues. So also they have told us that the customer service hold times have gone down to like normal, maybe 30-minute or hour hold time. So try that, but also send me an email. Okay. Wayne Whitmer says, I'm increased dose each month until I reach 10 milligrams, and I just reordered my second month at that dose. All right, awesome. Wayne Whitmer. Yeah, there's move up if you want to. Talk to your doctor. Health and Cost says, I am so happy to hear how everyone is doing. Hang in there. It doesn't happen fast all the time, and that's fine too. Just take your shot and live your life. Yes, Barb, we are living our life. Awesome. VLAN 86. Thyroid nodules are different. I had them long before taking Mounjaro, and my thyroid doc showed zero concern with me using Mounjaro. Was happy to see the weight loss. Yeah. So, sometimes the weight loss is going to do more for you than not, you know what I mean? Like it helps resolve other things with the weight loss. Jen Gardner says, I have Zepbound for my sleep apnea. It's changed my life. My kids are so grateful. Sleep is so needed. It changes your life. Yeah. Christopher, he was never diagnosed.
No,
but,
I never did the test.
Oh my gosh, the snoring was just terrible. So sleep is so important. And if you're not getting good sleep, good quality sleep, it really like messes up your whole day. He's got another super chat. Super chat. Thank you, Sample MM, for your super chat. 6 weeks on 2.5 Zepbound, starting to feel hungry. Well, might be time to move up. Doctor says she will raise my dosage to 5. Do you think it will help with the hunger? Yes, I do. So, if you're starting to feel hungry, and your doctor thinks it's time for you to move up, I would agree.
Your body adjusts to it. I mean, although it's nice to be able to stay on a low dose, these meds weren't really the way. The understanding was always that you would start at a low dose to minimize the side effects. And then as your body got it used to it, you could maximize weight loss by moving up. So do what's right for you. There's no specific answer for that. And there's no guarantee just by going up, you're going to lose more weight. So it's not going to make you lose 20 pounds next month because you went up. No, but on average, it'll keep it going.
It should just keep it going at a 1 to 2 pounds a week. Great.
Let's see here.
Keto for life. I use Bragg apple cider vinegar for acid reflux. I did not know it was good.
I've never heard of that one. A lot of people, I have a bottle of that downstairs.
Yeah, I think I bought it one time thinking, I'm going to take some of this every day because I heard it was good. I'll try anything, right? Donna D says, Laraine, where can I find your element code? Oh, girl, I don't know. I'll have to look that up. Yeah, I'll have to look it up. I haven't given that out in a long time. I do have an element code. Element is a electrolyte, and if you use my code, you can get a free sample pack with your order. So I will post it in the Facebook group.
You can post it in the community.
I can post it in the YouTube community as soon as I figure out how to do that.
Just like Facebook, only it's on YouTube.
Well, because we share the one YouTube Downsized, sometimes it gets tricky, but I'll put it in the community tab, and then you can use my code and get a free sample pack. Thanks for asking. Sample
that's
MM.
The same one.
Okay. Sorry. Bradley says, I have vasculovagal
syncope.
and was worried about taking my first shot 4 weeks ago. I have no idea what that is. But I went for it, and I'm so glad I did. Didn't pass out either. Oh, is that like something that makes you faint or something like that?
I'm looking it up. I don't know.
Christopher's Googling it now. Yeah, I mean, just you got to work with your doctor on these things. We're not doctors. This is not
I would say
medical
sudden
advice.
drop in heart rate and blood pressure leading to fainting, often in reaction to a stressful trigger.
Oh dear.
Anyway, but it didn't freak you out, saying you didn't. Well, that's good.
Yeah. Okay.
Are the medications working for you? That's the question.
Well, he took his first shot 4 weeks ago, so hopefully he's seen some results.
Yeah.
Mandy Sand said, I just got my first dose of compounded Tirzepatide and will be starting it Friday. Woohoo! Yep. So you get the little vial, you get the insulin needles, you draw the.
We have a video that Laraine did showing you how to do it if you're interested.
A while back. It's a while back. I did taking your first shot. I think I was still a little nervous even taking my shots when I did that video about taking your shot. Maybe I should remake that one.
Deborah Crusher says boomers are born after 1960.
Or before. Or after. No. Wait, boomers can be 61 and up, I think. All right. So, yeah.
Here we go. So 46 to 60. See, there's all these different measures.
Oh, yeah. 46
it
to
adjusts
65
a little bit. Hello, Delilah.
Boomers. Yeah. 60, because I'm 69, so I'm Gen X, but my mom is a boomer, right? Judy Pointner says, nodules are not uncommon on your thyroid. I was diagnosed with that many years ago. All right. I did not know you could have nodules on your thyroid. I learned so much on this channel about all kinds of things.
Wayne Whitmer says he's Gen X and was raised on hose water and neglect. Oh yeah.
And you're from the South, Wayne, so y'all go outside. Don't come in till the street lights come on. I don't want to see you again. I'm gonna lock the doors. If you thirsty, get the hose. I'll leave a PB&J out on the porch for you. Don't come inside the house.
My mother would be like, I hear that screen door slam one more time, I'm locking the door.
Go outside. Yep, but when the street lights come on, y'all better be inside for dinner or supper, as the case may be.
Style Rider Bradley, I also have vasovagal syncope.
Worried about fainting, but have had no adverse side effects. Well, that's good. I guess make sure somebody's with you when you take your shot. So in case you faint, maybe, you could have somebody to help you. That's scary. That would be scary. Right, Jojo? It's Darium says, question, did you listen to the Novo Nordisk earnings call?
I did not. It's on my list. I'll do that in the morning and see what comes out of it.
I'm sure they're making billions and billions of dollars. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure they're doing fine, especially now that they got that big score with Caremark moving everybody to Wegovy.
I'm sure they talk about that,
yeah. Yeah. You should invest in us because now we're going to sell even more Wegovy. Anywho. La. It's Jeremy. It's so great to see the range of experiences. I have never not felt hunger, but I get great satiety. Do you still feel hunger, Darium? Are you hungry all the time still? But you get great satiety from your food. That's good. So before GLP-1s, I would, go on diets and just be hungry, just constantly hungry, constantly thinking about food all the time, diet or not diet. And these GLP-1s just kind of turned that off for me. So, and I remember the only time I really felt full was at Thanksgiving. Like it was the one time of year where I was like, oh, I don't need to eat anymore. And now it's just a whole different experience. Margaret Frazier says, I take 5 milligrams of Mounjaro and I have nausea so bad. Oh no. Is there anything you know that can help me? I have meds for it, but it doesn't help. Oh no. I lost nothing on 2.5, but I am losing on 5. Well, that's good. I would say, are you drinking enough water? Maybe put some electrolytes, like Element, in your water. You can also get little packs of electrolytes at like Aldi that are super good price, Walmart. Try that. What do you think for nausea, Christopher?
I've never had nausea, so I like ginger ale a lot. Ginger ale is my friend, and I get Canada Dry or whatever the other one is. Mm-hmm. And it's 0 sugar ginger ale, so it's not adding anything, but And I'm a big Cheerio fan, and I know that's carbs and starch and all
Kinda
that.
settles your
But
stomach a
sometimes
little
I'll just have a little bit of
Mhm.
Cheerios. Just I think the oats just kind of soak things up.
Mhm.
And then what I would tell you more than anything else is as you take these medications, for most people, the side effects begin to subside. And although they will pop up occasionally over the course of the year, the first few months are the worst part of it. It's your body adjusting to it. So if you can stick with it, odds are
Yeah,
it will
should
diminish.
diminish over time, especially if you've started losing weight. Your body is adjusting to it. Elsa Origel, what are the doses that you guys are taking? I am currently on a 5 milligram dose of compounded Tirzepatide. I've been in maintenance now for almost a year, but I went up to as high as a 12.5 milligram dose when I was losing weight. I hit my first goal, and then I started dropping down because I thought you were supposed to. And I wanted to kind of see and experiment like where I could really hang out. And I kept losing, so I kept dropping, and so now I'm on 5. What dose are you on, Christopher Durham?
15 milligrams. So, and that we both started September 2023, and I really spent 70 weeks, and I started at 286.4 and got down to 186. There's a middle goal in there too, but basically 100 and plus pounds down. So I'm about 104 pounds down now. 70 weeks in, so I'm 8 or 9 weeks into maintenance now, and on 15 milligrams. And honestly, I'm probably going to hang out at 15 milligrams. And for a little while longer, we've got a lot coming up over the next few weeks between conferences and traveling. So I'm not going to. One of the doctors we talked to was like, if it's working, leave it the way it is. Because for maintenance, although you can certainly adjust dosage and length of time between dosages, you also have food, which is your other big piece. So basically, the medication, the food, and your activity can all be adjusted to help you maintain that weight. So I've bumped my calories up a little bit because I don't have any desire to lose any more in the last 7, 8, 9 weeks. Basically, I've been right at 185, up or down a pound or two each week. So, I mean, I don't, there's this notion that you get to a weight and you stick to it. And I think that's kind of an unrealistic thing. We're not solid objects. We're going to change. We eat, we drink, we pee, we poop, we throw up, we do all those things, we sweat. Everything changes every day. So you're not going to stay exactly the same.
All right. Real Talk with Laraine says, Chris, I want to thank you for such a phenomenal and compassionate message for us to share with our employees, identifying the true ROI for covering these meds. I shared on my site.
Well, thank you very much, Laraine. Now, you've got a YouTube channel too. You need to sign up and do an interview with us too.
Yes.
Laraine.
Michael Dietz says, by the way, for the person who mentioned they are afraid to take the shot, I was too. Yep. I remember that, Michael. I thank God I listened to my doctor and at the same time thought about Christopher and Lorraine's advice to try. Yeah, a lot of people are afraid to start their shot, right, Michael? Like Michael was. I remember he went to CVS, his local drugstore. He got the medication and it was in the refrigerator
For a while.
And he finally worked up the nerve to take it, and now I think he's glad he did. So yeah, it can be scary, right? I was terrified. Giving myself a shot? What? But you know what? The more that you do it, the easier that it is. And now it's barely even a thing, right? So Margaret Frazier says, I have nausea very badly on Mounjaro 5 along with bad constipation. I'm diabetic and working with an endocrinologist, but we just can't seem to find the right thing to make me feel decent. I'm sorry, Margaret.
Yeah.
Make sure you're eating fiber, drinking water, taking whatever your doctor suggests for the constipation. I suffer with constipation too, and it can get, it just doesn't feel good, right? What's the system of reading comments, Christopher Durham? I feel like half of mine were skipped. What's the deal?
On purpose, Anthony. I apologize. So what happens is YouTube's a little moody, and when I'm flipping back and forth sometimes, so like I'd have to do a banner or confetti or something, sometimes I
And he
miss
goes to the
things.
So we have a camera that I'm looking into right here. If I look over here, I'm looking at a big TV screen where I can see how many viewers are on right now and some comments people are making. And then Christopher has in front of him an iPad that shows all the comments. And I can't see the comments from here to there because I don't have my glasses on. So he manages the comments on the iPad, and I see him flipping back and forth. And I mean, you see him put up the same one like twice in a row sometimes. It's kind of hard to manage sometimes. So he's not intentionally skipping anyone. So
yeah, so throw it back in there. Sorry.
If you put some cues at the beginning, like if you have a question, then a lot of times they see it better. And I think honestly that's why some of our super fans give us super chats because
but you don't have to do that.
But when they pop up in a different place and I can alert him to see them. But we're figuring out this
so
YouTube.
It's a lot going on.
We're getting better all the time. Thanks for hanging with us. We appreciate your comments.
ER Queenie says ginger snap. I love a ginger snap too. I'm with you. But the other thing with the comments is because there's 540 people out there and there's some kind of sub conversations going on in the mix too,
which we love. Which
is great. You guys talk, ask each other questions. Some of you know a lot more about this than we do, but it means that I have to scroll past because if there are things that don't make
one time people were talking about horses,
right?
They're having a whole conversation about riding horses.
So here's Keto for Life, and Keto for Life was kind and put a Q at the beginning there.
Question. Today, I just got my first 2.5 milligrams vials of Zepbound from Eli Lilly through Gift Health. $3.49 for that initial dose. So I'm totally new to this. Are compounds cheaper than that? No. But the thing is, the 2.5 dose of Zepbound from Eli Lilly Direct is $3.49. And then in 4 weeks, you are forced to move up, right, to the 5 milligram.
You're not forced to do anything. It's whatever prescription your doctor writes.
Well, the next dose is more expensive with Lilly Direct, right? So the next dose is $4.99. Mm-hmm. And it
stays $4.99 until 10, but the doses right now in vials stop at 10. There's no 12.5 or 15s.
Yeah.
And then if you do not fill your prescription within 45 days, the price will go up $100 each time, and it eventually goes up $200. So you follow all their rules. The thing about compounding right now is compounding was always meant to be a temporary solution for shortages or for medical problems that people might have in personalized doses. There's a lot of court cases going on right now. There's a lot of things going on right now. You could certainly try compounding. There's no guarantee that tomorrow you will be able to get those medicines because we simply do not control the legal system and Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk and all that. However, if you can afford it and it's not cheap, you're going to be able to get those vials. You're going to be able to get Wegovy.
Yeah. So I use compounded through Mochi Health. It's $199 a month for compounded Tirzepatide plus a $79 a month membership fee. That's how much it costs. Will I be able to get that next month? I hope so. But, we don't know what's going to happen with compounding. We've got our fingers crossed, and I've been on compounding since September of 2023. I've been on compounding the whole time. So, these are just the decisions you have to make.
Cat C says, I'm fairly newish. I have to say that despite the fact that I've been at battle with maintaining my weight my whole life, that food noise is not something I experience. So, Kat, have you started taking the medications yet? Where are you in your process?
And sometimes people, I never knew that there was food noise was a named thing. I just thought that I just wanted to eat all the time, and I thought about food all the time. And then somebody said food noise, and then somebody said, oh, it goes away on the GLP-1. And I thought back, and I was like, this was about 6 months in when I saw that Oprah special that they were talking about food noise. And I didn't know what it was, and I didn't know I had it. And then when it went away, I didn't really notice it went away. And then when I got called out, I was like, oh yeah. So a lot of people have it and they don't know, or maybe some people just don't have it at all. And there's different I think there's different kinds of obesity, right? So maybe it's something genetic and different environmental factors
So read that
start
one
you
from
going.
her as well.
I have a lot of other noise like chronic back pain and 5 songs playing simultaneously in my head and rehashing conversations from 20 years ago.
Well, so I would be interested to know where you are on if you've started taking this medication or not, because we actually did a panel a couple of months ago with the ladies from the plus size side Z.
Well, it's not Z, but it looks
Sides,
Yeah.
but it's a Z at the end.
Mhm.
And so there's 4 of them, and the lady's husband, whose name is Bear,
Mhm.
talked about that a lot. Now he is probably autistic, so and I'm not
Mhm.
saying you're autistic, but I'm speaking specifically to him. And he said it quieted all the
all the
things in
noise.
his head,
Mhm.
which I had never heard before. And I was like, well,
Yeah.
that's a fascinating
That was
piece.
kind of fascinating. And have we seen studies linking like ADHD and GLP-1s? It seems like
There's somebody doing research on it. We haven't
read
seen
a
results.
news story about it. Yeah. So they're looking at it like maybe how it helps, things like that. When you say 5 songs playing simultaneously in my head, that makes me think of, a lot going on all the time, right? So, I mean, yeah, like maybe take notes and see as you go on this journey how that changes or how it stays the same if it works for you.
I was trying to find Anthony's question. They're talking about Anthony's question, but I don't know what Anthony's question is.
Bless his heart. Bless your heart, Christopher. Bless your heart.
I got what's the system of question, and then Darium saying he'll get to it. And,
Thanks, dear.
Thanks,
King.
I'm looking, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's a lot of comments.
A lot of comments.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
It's a lot of comments.
Kind of crazy.
So look how many likes we have.
Yeah, 459. That's crazy.
Hey,
546 people out there watching.
All right. I am kind of fading, so we might need to.
Just a second. Oh,
okay.
DGMC says your kitchen commercial just showed up as a pop-up for Mochi.
Oh my God!
Way!
Oh my God! That's hilarious. Yeah, Christopher's in there cooking salmon, and I walk up and look at what's cooking, and yeah, that's a good one. He was actually really cooking it. Full of Grace says, question, anyone ever been too hydrated? That's a great point. In shock, my provider suggested I cut my water because a particular item in my most recent blood work was being affected by extra H2O. Good news, A1C is down to 5. Yeah, so Christopher's uncle, Mike, his doctor told him that too, to stop drinking so much water because it was diluting his blood, really. But you know what I've noticed is I used to kind of go overboard on the drinking water, because if you tell me that I can lose 5 pounds in a week by drinking water, well, by golly, you better know that I'm filling up this bad boy like many a time a day, because I can drink water all day long. But once I started adding electrolytes to my water, I didn't feel like I needed to drink water all the time. Like I felt more satiated in my thirst, if that makes any sense. I really think the electrolytes helped with that. But definitely, if your provider tells you to cut water to a certain level, definitely do that, because that is the thing. So
here we go. Here's Anthony's question. Anthony says, did you see the recent video from the show The View?
No.
Weight Watchers declaring bankruptcy because of
today.
GLP-1s, and they said
today.
Big Pharma made GLP-1s too expensive. You guys are ahead of the curve.
Weight Watchers.
Yeah, I didn't see the View, but I mean, we reported last week or 2 weeks ago that they were considering bankruptcy.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a huge surprise. I don't.
And if you've been watching us for any length of time, you know my saga with Weight Watchers, right? So I started my first Weight Watcher meeting at age 15 with my mom. And then from there, I went to a Weight Watchers camp. I've been on every iteration of Weight Watchers since 1985. Like, I've lost as much as 50 pounds on Weight Watchers after one of my pregnancies, but I always gained it back. And I'd restart, I'd gain I'd lose 20 pounds and then I'd go off because something would happen in my life or we'd move or whatever. And then I'd restart, lose 30 pounds, gain it back. Like it was always a cycle. So I've been going to this, or had been going to my current town's Weight Watcher meeting for about the past 5 years. And when I started GLP-1s, I was still doing Weight Watchers and GLP-1s. And I went into my meetings with the people I'd known for a while, right? And I wanted to tell them all, like, you guys, this Tirzepatide is like changing my weight loss. Like I'm dropping weight every week at like things I've never seen before. And I got a lot of, well, I'm a diabetic and you're taking my medication. And a lot of, well, isn't that cheating? And a lot of, well, I just want to do it on my own. And I asked the leader, I said, you've got WeightWatchers.com pushing GLP-1s on your website. I get emails from them saying, hey, try our new GLP-1 medications. And we're not talking about this in our in-person meetings. And she goes, yeah, they don't want us to talk about it in the meetings. What do you mean they don't want us to talk about it in the meetings? And I kept bringing it up and I kept telling people about it. And then we started this channel and finally it was like banging my head against the wall. Like this is going nowhere. This is like a hamster on a wheel, right? I'm spinning fast and going nowhere. And I eventually, after I got to my goal weight and my lifetime status, because I'd been going for my whole lifetime and you better by golly know I was going to get that lifetime status. So I got to that and then I just recently I quit. Like last month, I finally said I only had to go weigh in once a month and be around my goal weight and not have to pay. But if you don't go and check in and weigh in, they charge you $14.99. And I'm like, I don't even want to go anymore. I mean, I love the little lady, Karen, that weighs me. My leader is a perfectly nice lady. I know these people. I've been in meetings with them talking about my weight for years, right? But I'm just not, this is no longer serving me. I'd rather do something different with my Saturday morning time that I used to go and sit in a Weight Watcher meeting. So, and then shortly after that, they declare bankruptcy. Coincidence?
Well, I think GLP-1 certainly didn't help.
Right.
I think if you go dive a little deeper into the whole business model for Weight Watchers, there was some investment companies and there was some, Oprah sold all, gave away all her stuff. There was a lot of other things going on with them.
Well,
I think
they closed all the retail locations.
Yeah.
So I went to a Weight Watchers shop in a plaza and they shut that down. And then we went back to meeting in a little church, which was weird when you're meeting in the sanctuary of a church with a Weight Watcher meeting. I gotta tell you, it's a little weird. But they don't have any retail locations. They don't sell any products anymore. They got rid of all their products, all their snacks and drinks and cake mixes. And I had all those things all gone, been gone for years. They have all this debt. I mean, I haven't dove into their financials
right, so
enough
Brochet
to know what's going
says-
on, but it's just.
Brochet says, my comment got skipped, but Red Rocks tells the other telehealth provider if you have ordered two recently, they told Lavender Sky that I had ordered two recently. Well, so that's the rub, right? So there's 52 million telehealth companies out there. Everybody who can afford a nap now started a telehealth company, but there's only so many compounding pharmacies, right? And basically they're all ordering from the same 5 or 6 pharmacies.
Mm-hmm.
So if you happen to have 2 telehealth providers that order from the same one, then the records are all there, so they know. Now, Lavender Sky, we've never used them, but I've looked at the site. I know you can select different pharmacies. So probably
you can pick your pharmacy?
If you had picked a different pharmacy, it would have been fine and moved on.
I mean, I think that's rare. If your doctor's prescribing it, your pharmacist is going to say, no, I'm not going to fill it. Like
they see it in their system. I mean, they know.
But it's not like it's an insurance question. Like you can't fill it so many days apart. Anyway, I have not experienced
And somebody asked too, are we still purchasing from Mochi?
Yes. Yes, I am. I have an order that will hit my doorstep tomorrow via Empower Pharmacy.
And it's a function of they're using good pharmacies.
Yes.
So as long as they're using good pharmacies, Honestly, we have lots of $40 offs on it, so it's
Yeah.
cheaper for us. We'll keep ordering, and
Yeah.
whatever happens with mochi happens with mochi.
Yeah. Yep. You can use my code and save $40 on your first order. QIYG, the letter 08.
Stop.
Yeah, no, I mean, I say if you can, however it works for you to get the medication, it's worth it. And this is a price that works for us. Our insurance doesn't cover it.
Yeah. Desiree says, hi, I'm new to the channel. Took semaglutide for over a year and lost 55 pounds. Moved to another state, gained 25 back. I've switched to Tirzepatide. Do you have a video on how to reconstitute? Nope, we don't do that.
No, we don't do that. We don't do that. I'm not mixing this stuff up in my home. No, it's dangerous, and we don't talk about that.
These are prescription medications, and we strongly advise that you deal with a
Go to
doctor who writes your
mochihealth.com.
prescription or any.
Joinmochi.com.
Yeah.
I'd rather
anything
send you
marked
there
not
than-
for human consumption
Yeah.
should not be
Yeah,
consumed.
no, we don't do that.
Let's see here. Yeah, we're gonna. Here's another question.
V is in victory. Q. Good evening, all. I have an appointment with a mochi nutritionist soon. Okay, yeah. Do you find that working from home makes it easier to avoid fast food? Meal prepping is hard. How do you handle this?
We
Oh,
don't
wow.
meal prep. We don't do that at all.
I used to try to like meal prep my lunches and stuff, and if you have the
She
time
doesn't
for
cook,
it.
so don't believe that.
Well, when I say meal prep, I mean like putting things in containers that I could then grab out of the fridge and eat, right? So like easy meal prep, right? Maybe some chicken in a crock pot mixed with the taco seasoning occasionally, but that's as fancy as I get. So working from home makes it easier to avoid fast food. Yeah, because you're not really out and about, right? We don't leave home at noon.
What I would say is meal prep doesn't have to be hard. First of all, don't think of it as meal prep. Think of it as leftovers, because that's really all meal prep is.
Just cook extra dinner.
On a Sunday, whatever your protein of choice is, chicken, hamburger, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Go ahead and cook some extra pieces. So grill some extra chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Right, you can get those little meal prep trays with Walmart, Amazon, everywhere.
We have them. Put your leftovers in a meal prep tray.
In a meal prep tray, add a veggie to it, because
leftover
veggies make broccoli, peas, carrots, corn. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what Weight Watchers ever said, any of those vegetables are great. Nobody got fat eating peas. Don't care what they say.
Counting the points for peas and corn, right? Yeah. So like this week, I went to the grocery store and I bought the big pack of chicken breasts, like the big, like 5 pounds of chicken. And so he cooked all of it. I think you just like cooked it in the oven, maybe, or did you put it in the air fryer with the barbecue sauce?
No, I didn't cook it all at one time, but I do sometimes.
Well, anyway, and I got some corn on the cob because it looked good at the grocery store, and I got some little round potatoes, and those you did put in the air fryer, little round potatoes.
So we eat starches, I know. It's terrifying.
Yeah, it's
carbs.
Like no food is bad, right? It's just food. So he cooked all that, and we had like enough for like 3 maybe extra meals. So we have these little black containers with the lids, and I threw all my old containers away where I didn't know where the lid was, and this didn't go with it, and just bought like 50 black with the clear container. I can get them on Amazon, and then we just make a little piece of chicken,
but it's leftovers.
Piece of corn, some pieces of potatoes. Bleep bleep bleep. Put them in the refrigerator. Bleep bleep bleep. We also have tried Factor, the meal service called Factor. We did a video on it, and we have a code, and you can save if you want to go back and find that and use our code and whatever.
It's not bad.
We had a Factor meal last night, actually. We get maybe 4 Factor meals once every couple of weeks. When we're going to be like extra busy, or sometimes before a live show, we'll do a Factor meal because it's just easier or whatever. But yeah, that's how we handle it. We have a super chat. Hey, Abby Clark, thanks for your super chat. Are y'all just doing month to month with Mochi? Yes. So I saw on the Mochi influencer page today that they have actually taken off the 3-month and 6-month membership options. the compounding pharmacies really just like sending out 1 month of medication at a time. So people were getting like paying for things and not receiving things. So they just took the option off because it got too hard to manage. So yeah, I did a 3-month order with Mochi when they first offered it back in maybe January, February. And then after that, with everything like the uncertainty of what was happening, I said, I just want to do 1 month at a time. And that's what we did. Kate E says, LD, I do have ADHD and last year stopped taking ADD because with the shortages of ADD, it was worse being on and off it than not being on it at all. Zepbound has cut down that instant gratification ADHD monster. Oh, okay. That's good, right? I mean, we have some family experience with ADHD, so I know that can be challenging to say the least. So I'm glad that it's working for you. Keto for life. LOL. I would think you could do Weight Watchers even with the injections. I did for like a year, really. I think their weight loss method is just not really effective. I mean, you can, you just can't, I couldn't keep it off. I think they're just making excuses, have to blame someone. I mean, yeah, I mean, who wants to just diet and exercise when I've done that literally my whole life and it never worked for any length of time? So with a GLP-1 medication, I've lost 53 pounds and kept it off now for almost a year. And I'll keep taking it. KW says, my PCP says I have to try an oral medication before they consider a GLP-1. Well, they want you to put on metformin or some silly stuff.
Yeah,
like
there's
that.
some insurance plans that have to do that. There's just
my insurance is Kaiser, so I probably won't get an RX either way, to be honest. Should I try the oral meds or sign up for a service ASAP? Yeah, that's a toughie.
Yeah, I would make sure you understand. Talk to your insurance company and see, because if they have a plan where you can get there and you know what the price is going to be, so maybe it ends up being $25.
Yeah.
Maybe it ends up being $800. I don't.
If you have to jump through some hoops and maybe it takes you 6 months to get to Zepbound, but once you get approved for Zepbound, it's $25 a month. You've won the lottery, right? So I would see what the end game is with taking those other medications through your providers. Know the schedule and how long it's going to take. I mean, you could try to go the compounded route, but really, who knows if it's going to be around long term, right? And if you can get the branded through your insurance for a good price.
I would find out from your insurance, honestly, because
yeah. That's what.
Oh, so they were talking about skipping questions and all this stuff. Darian was saying they'll get to it. And Darian and Wayne are both exactly right. There's now 539 people, 492 likes. There's a lot going on out there. We will try to get to everybody. You know, are we going to get to everybody every night when no, probably not, because we're going to be done here in probably 5 or 10 minutes.
What time is it?
Well, we've been on for 2 hours now, so we'd be here till midnight, I think, honestly. Please, though, leave questions in the comments if you've got them, and we'll do the best we can. The quickest way, and I'll tell you, and you don't have to do it, is if you become a Club Downsized member. It's a much smaller number, and we do our best to get to everybody there as well.
So, did you see the $5 super chat?
I did not. There we go.
Kate says, thank you, Kate, for your super chat. ADD equals Adderall. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, see it that we see that. Because I can see that on this screen over here, and then he can see it on his screen over here. And then, it seems like complicated, but it's, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe it is. Anthony says, Wayne Whitmer, give it a year. When GLP-1s get affordable, they'll blow up. What year for what? What, Anthony? We missed Anthony's question again.
It was the same question.
Oh, all right. Yeah, and in 2026, we're going to have hopefully some new medications be approved by the FDA for weight loss. So we've got orforglipron, we've got retatrutide, we've got cagrosema. Is that the one? Is that one?
Yep, that one's coming too.
And these are the orforglipron is going to be an oral medication made by Eli Lilly. That is a GLP-1, and it's not semaglutide. It's something else, right?
I'm sorry, I was only half
Or
listening.
Forglipron. What is
Yes,
it?
it's a GLP-1, but it's a
different.
variation.
Kay says, my mochi delivery arrived today. Yay! How soon can I put in for a refill? Well, I would look at your portal tomorrow, maybe click around and see if that option is there. Sometimes it takes it a day or two to pop in, but look at your portal and see what it says. And, try it. What are they going to say? No? Okay, I'll wait a week. Like, try it. Mandy Sand says, what is a good brand of protein powder?
Would you like to know the one I recommend? I don't.
He doesn't use them. I don't.
Mm-mm.
You know what? That's a hard question for me because
there's a million of them out there too.
There's so many of them. I use the Premier Protein ready to drink shakes, and I put that in my coffee. I also have in my cabinet protein powder from Aldi because it's cheaper, and I think it's very good. Now people can probably say, "Oh, it has this and that, and blah blah blah, whatever."
We have a one from Publix that's a vanilla one.
I think we use that one up.
It's natural and organic. It's their Greenwise brand, and it was okay.
Okay.
I won't drink this stuff at all. But we have a Ninja Creamy, so sometimes I'll put it in Ninja Creamy, and it's not too bad.
Somebody sent us some protein powder to test that they wanted to sell to people. It was so bad I couldn't even drink it. So, I mean, and I hate to buy the big bulky containers because if you get it and you taste it and you don't like it, you're stuck with this bulk, right? But at Aldi, if you try it and you don't like it, you can bring it back and they'll give you your money back. And then they'll say, go pick out something of equal value and you can have that too. So that's why I like Aldi.
Simply Bank says started Tirzepatide 6 weeks ago, 28 pounds down. That's good. Yay. Let's see here. So hard to kick being keto, and the concept of bad food, good foods, almost like keto became an eating disorder. Just a thought.
No, absolutely. I've been there. I can't eat corn. Corn is points. I can't eat potatoes. I don't want to spend the points. I don't want to eat a piece of bread because it has carbs in it. Like I've done I've done all the diets, right? And they make you so like food averse, like to certain food groups. And I can tell you now I pretty much just stuck to protein and vegetables there for a while on this journey. And now that I'm in maintenance, I've added some things back in. I've added in some sourdough bread occasionally. I've added in some potatoes occasionally. You don't have to eliminate any foods on GLP-1s. You can really eat whatever you want, and this is still going to work. Okay. But we want to do it. We want to be healthy. We want to nourish our bodies. We want to eat enough protein. But you don't have to eliminate carbs. Carbs were never the problem.
There's lots of people that get real passionate about a lot of different diets. If that works for you, that's great. Yeah. It's not something I personally want to do, but hey, you do you.
I mean, some people are, what is the biggest loser? Adrienne, she's
a carnivore.
Carnivore. I'd really never done that one where you just eat meat. Keto people, so like they love their keto. Intermittent fasting people,
and we'll get yelled at about all three.
Love their intermittent fasting. I don't want to live my life eliminating food groups or not eating till 2:00 in the afternoon because I like eating. I like eating breakfast. I like eating lunch. I like eating at those normal times of day, and that's how I roll. So if something else works for you, by all means, do what works for you, but don't think you have to fit into any like box to do this.
I mean, the deal with these medications is they're medications. It's the medical treatment for the disease of obesity. It's not a diet.
It's not a diet. It's a medication.
Right. And so when you talk to doctors and nutritionists, they're really talking about eating plans. And an eating plan mentality and a diet mentality are two different things. Diet is all about depriving yourself. It's all about cutting back and tips and tricks and how do I get there faster, quicker, delay? How do you hold your breath underwater as long as possible? That's not what an eating plan is about. How do you nutritiously fuel your body and obtain your goal? So in this case, our goal is losing weight, right? So you're going to eat under the calorie, keep in a calorie deficit. But it's a mindset shift that comes with these medications that until you've started them, it's hard to understand. Chasing Sunshine has a question. Did you guys do a video on protein showdown? We did a video on protein drinks.
Ready to drink drinks.
And honestly, we will probably do one on powders eventually. We've talked about it.
I just don't want 10 jars of protein powder in my house because
typically we like to do, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different brands, different flavors, whatever, so we can have a good comparison. In the protein powder space, that's a fraction of there's just hundreds of it, and everybody loves one versus the other.
Yeah.
And then they're $30 to $70 a canister.
Yeah.
So you have, $1,000 worth of stuff. And I know there's one lady that keeps saying, I'll send you my favorite one.
Yeah. And that's sweet. But
sweet.
Valerie Scruggs sent some Downsized
memberships. Awesome.
Thanks, Valerie. I think Valerie just signed up for the cruise too. Valerie's coming with us on thank you for gifting the 5 Downsized memberships. We appreciate it. Valerie is coming with us on our Downsized cruise presented by Mochi Health. We are going on a cruise and you can come with us. Oh, wait, we have another super chat from Barb.
You can finish your thoughts about the cruise.
Come with us on the cruise. We're going to join with a lot of GLP-1 people, and we're going to hang out, and we're going to cruise, and we're going to eat on the buffet, and we're going to work out, and we're going to snorkel, and we're going to do line dancing and have some swag bags and have some matching t-shirts and
all the fun stuff.
We're going to have a fun time. So go to our website at thedownsized.org and you can sign up for the cruise. Health at any cost. Barb, thank you for your super chat, Barb. In my 3 years, I never counted 1 calorie. Yeah, Barb's my soul sister on the no counting calories thing. I never counted 1 calorie and ate lean cuisine and healthy choice. No more Uber Eats, no UPF, and lost 280 pounds without issues. Obsessing about food for 50 years made me crazy. No more. And that's a great point, right? Yes. And thank you for your super chat, because same for me, like writing down logging every morsel of food I put in my mouth only caused me to obsess more about that morsel of food and then the next morsel of food that I was then going to have to write down. And so I don't want to live my life like that. I'm not writing down my food every day forever. Like if I need to hone in on some things and like tighten some things up, I don't mind going back to that here and there, but I'm not doing that. I'm just not doing that. I'll count grams of protein. I'll make sure I'm eating a vegetable. I'll make sure I'm drinking my water, but you're not going to catch me writing those things down. And if you are writing those down, I applaud you, and you are amazing and you are awesome. And if you're not doing those things, I also applaud you, and you are amazing and you are awesome. So you have to find what works for you. I know what works for me. Barb knows what works for her, and she's lost 280 pounds. So there you go.
Bonnie Magical says, if the insurance only has a $25 copay, for example, do they negotiate with Lilly or others, or do they eat the difference? Oh, no, there's all kinds of negotiations.
Yeah,
and then there's what's called a pharmacy benefit manager in the middle of it that does all of that, and they're making a little piece of the pie. It's an incredibly complex system, but I assure you, everybody is profiting off of it. So have no fear.
These only cost like, would Bernie Sanders estimate like $5 a pen to make? These cost $5.
Yeah.
So,
I think it was the Congressional Budget Office, not Bernie himself. But
well, he said it in front of.
He was the head of the committee at the time.
He did the report. Mm-hmm. I saw another couple of congressmen that were making. Who sent me that yesterday?
Yeah, I've got it. It'll be in the news this week.
They were trying to make a bill to say the price should be the same as.
Well, no, it was a bipartisan. It was 2 senators or congressmen, I don't remember. They wanted to ensure that the price in the U.S. would be lower than any other global price. Which sounds like a great idea.
Works for me.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So we are gonna be about out of here for tonight. I think before Laraine just passes out. We make sure there's not anything absolutely critical.
Kitty.
Angela says, I understand the Vitamin Shop has single packets of protein powders. I haven't looked myself.
Yeah.
I don't know that I have ever been in a Vitamin Shop.
Yes, I totally have.
I actually have a couple of single packets of Oath, the clear stuff downstairs.
Yeah, I think that's great that they're they're making that so you can kind of try them. What about a protein
Well, we
brownies
did
video?
if you go back and look, there's a protein showdown on sweets. So it wasn't all brownies, but there was brownies and cookies and
the Quest things.
It was all sweet stuff. There was some Quest, like Reese's Pieces, and there was all
those
sweet
were
stuff.
Good. Protein bar. We did a protein bar comparison. We did a salty snack, protein salty snacks. There's like protein pretzels. If you go to our website on thedownsized.org and click on our store, I've got an Amazon store that's got now a gazillion products that we've tried, like protein pretzels, protein Quest chips, protein, and I don't suggest eating that all the time. But if you're like, out somewhere and you need a snack and maybe you're looking at a Reese's cup versus a protein bar, like maybe make a different choice. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I like chocolate. I like to have chocolate things. Maybe I'll pick a protein bar over, a candy bar, and maybe they don't really taste that much different, but I'm getting protein in, right? All right. Brenda Bryn says, thank you so much for all that you do. You are my very favorite. Well, thanks. Most informative, most well-rounded and truthful. Thank you, Christopher. What gives you diarrhea? that went south fast. Did you have issues before? Yes, he's always had issues before. He's had a very delicate digestive system.
Well, but I think so. My family on my mother's side have always had issues, and essentially prior to GLP-1s, it was a sensitivity typically to something and it wasn't every day, it wasn't every week, it wasn't, but maybe you'd go to a restaurant you'd eaten at 50 times, eat the same thing, and maybe the food sanitation wasn't perfect, maybe whatever was happening, and it would just trigger something. And I know people were like, get tested for Crohn's or you have IBS. I've been through all that stuff. No, it's just my stomach is very sensitive about that kind of stuff. So it doesn't elevate to IBS. Since taking Tirzepatide, really that has almost completely gone away. But about once every 3, 4, 5 months. Well, this past week I was having real issues. I now actually believe my oldest daughter brought a virus home, and it's been going around
because she was sick in bed all one day.
Yeah, and then it's
you
just
didn't feel good, and I've kind of been.
So I don't. The thing about either diarrhea or throwing up or not, any of those things, is the way these medicines work. Something might trigger you one week, and then it never do it again. Or it might always be a problem. It's just going to be very specific.
It just almost seems not random, but it can seem random because it doesn't seem to, especially if you're not writing things down and keeping notes, like see if you can see a pattern. Like as humans, we always want to look for patterns in things, right? But sometimes I think our body just, as it offloads things, just triggers other events in our body. All right, Anthony. Thanks, guys. Get some sleep. Ha ha ha. Thanks, Anthony. Brochet says, good live tonight. Always help lower the meds loss anxiety. Yeah, you know what? We're just going to keep ordering compounded until that's not an option. And when that's not an option, then we'll go to the next thing, right? So, but, I'll keep telling you where I'm getting it. Nobody's, he doesn't want to say it, but I'll say it. Night all, take your shot and live your life. Yes, Barb. We ride at dawn.
Thank you very much.
That's from our weekly weigh-in. Watch our weekly weigh-in too, so you can know all the inside jokes. Yep. We ride at dawn.
Thank you very much.
Are we done now?
Yeah, we're done. My name is Christopher Durham.
All right, hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye. I'm Laraine Durham. He's Christopher Durham. We're the Downsized, and
see you next time.
Bedtime, y'all. Night.